by your command.
Woo! Hey everybody, how we doing tonight? Welcome to the show. And as you can see, I am solo. Poor JT Kirk is having some interwebs issues tonight, and that can happen to the best of us, right? It happened to me the other day, right after I stopped streaming the other night, and I was like, "Oh wow!" It was like about an hour later, everything went out, came right back on. Like 10 minutes later, I was like, could have happened right during the show, as inevitably we've seen it happen many, many times before. But with that being the case here, hey buddy, want to welcome everybody, buddy, and who else popped in? Oh, Gab After Dark, thank you so much for being here. And I was going to pull up a couple of auction sites. Buddy and I have been Xing each other little things that we want to buy, and I might show those one little figures, buddy. I actually forgot about that until just now. I've got 3 websites I'm going to pull up. I've shown a couple of them on Mark's channel on his Sunday Night Geekery, but can never really show a lot on there because it's his show and he's doing his own thing there. But it's basically an enabling night. And I got to turn my lighting up a little bit. I wonder. Sorry about the bald headlight there. I have to do that because my apartment, the lights are just all weird. I haven't bought any of those ring lights and stuff like that. It gets us through, right? And so I had a bunch of other stuff like this classic right here, Old School Aliens, and Private William Hudson, and man, what an iconic character and stuff like that. But I'm not going to just show like a lot of my stuff. Although, just really quickly, this guy right here, Sergeant Craig Windricks, he was in the Alien. Hey, FKHC 2005. How you doing? We're not doing the comics tonight. JT couldn't make it. The internet problem. And yeah, he just texted me. He's not a happy camper right now because it's issue number 1, and it was his idea. I'm going to give him credit. We went from Marvel to DC, and we wanted to, just switch it up and do some different stuff. So we went with Joker because it's a small run, and we're just trying to pick some obscure things, even though Joker is a mainstream, one of the, best known villains of all time. But it's an older one from 1975, but it was number 1. It was his idea. So I said, I'm not gonna do the show without him tonight. If it was issue 3 or 4, we could do that and it wouldn't be such a big deal. But we'll put it off for next week, cross our fingers, and hope nothing happens again, right? But if anything does, we'll roll with it. So just real quick, before I move to these websites, this guy right here, and me being a former Marine, simplified all my Marines out there and veterans, this guy, Sergeant Craig Windricks, he was the brother of one of the lead sculptors at NECA, however you want to call it, NECA, and he was a former Marine. Unfortunately, he passed away a long time ago. So his brother was able to do this as an honorary thing for his brother who was in the Marine Corps at the time. So that was pretty cool. So I kept that, and obviously I'm not going to take that out. And my boy Bill Paxton right here, man. This is one of the classics. Game over, man. Game over. So many one-liners, I like the one when they crash land the one transport outside the facility, and the little girl's talking. He's just like, oh, she's like, shut up, you're just being a little, whatever. And he's like, why don't you put her in charge, man? I mean, his classic. I mean, you can't get much better than that in that movie. And and at the end, he came through, and he got taken out just like pretty much everybody else did, but he came through in the end. A small run starring Peter Dinklage. Yes, chat. Feel free to just talk about whatever you want. If there's anything in particular you've been wanting to buy, which I am going to show you what I was showing Buddy some of these things right here. I don't know, should we do action figures or comic? Let's do these comic books. This is a site that has a lot of stuff, but the prices, you guys always hear me talking about oh man, hey Mark, have you seen the prices on these amazing Spider-Man? And I get to show a picture of them every now and then. But let me show you what this, and I don't show for any of these. I've actually bought from these people, at least two of them, maybe all three of these at one point or another. It's just some of the sites that I go to, so I'm just willing to share it with everybody else. But you know, it's like a crazy process here to do this. Let's go with, which one should I start with? Let's go with it. It's called neatstuffcollectibles.com. It is an eBay store, but obviously you guys know I got to do like a 10-step process here. I'm going to wait for it to pop on your side, and then I'll be able to scroll around and pick on stuff. Hopefully I'll be able to click right on the page, and I might need my old man glasses. Yes. Okay. It's working over there. So we're good to go. Thank you for everybody here. And yes, all hail to our brother Clobbering Times, Mike. We definitely miss you. And his friend, Mark. Where's my one more button here, guys? I'll be ready to roll. There we go. So I should be able to scroll through this. And as you can see, they have a ton of stuff. And what I've done here, you can see it on eBay. Just go neatstuffcollectibles.com and make sure that you put it in just like that. Or there's the tab up there. I guess okay, because I'm not logged in, so I'm not too worried about my account here. I just got to be careful my account. I don't pick something. Yeah, I don't really want to show the stuff I have in my watch list because I don't know how to block the drive for it. So I will. Did I copy that? Copy that. And then we'll go to StreamYards. I'll put that here in the chat if you want to check them out. And then the key to doing this is, you see this little sort button here? Because at the front, you just get all kinds of stuff. And you're like, oh my God, what is all this? You don't really know what's going on. So I scrolled up, and you can pick different things, but I would just go through all the pages. There's not a lot, maybe 4 or 5 sometimes. And they do this every week. Hey, Teague, what's up, man? You still want to come on, or you just want to sit back and watch me do this? I'm introducing Admiral Teague into what we call enabling in the nerd word. I'll give all the credit to Mark D with a C. He's the one who does the enabling. And then enabling is you show me all this stuff, and now I want to buy it. All right. So anyway, this is the top of the page, and you scroll down just a little bit until you see this right here. But this box right here, because this is an auction site, and they do this every freaking week, man. I don't know how they do it, but I have bought. I'm not shilling for them. I bought stuff from them before, and it's been the descriptions have been on point. I had one of these old Godzilla ones. I got rid of it later on. When they have tons of these. So what you do is you can search right here. If you want to do just Batman or Godzilla stuff or Spider-Man, you put it in the search box. But what I do is I click on the sort and ending soonest. And it usually ends on Sunday nights, right when we do the geekery, which I missed last week. Drinking my coffee. So really going to rocking and rolling. But check out all this stuff right here. And I hope it's large enough for everybody. I might be able to enlarge, huge, maybe just a little bit, but I don't know how that's going to look on YouTube. It looked pretty good right there. Can you guys, yes, buddy, CT and MC. Okay, so Teague wants to come by. All right, Teague, but you got to promise me you're not going to buy a bunch of stuff unless you ask me what, well, you know your stuff here. Let me send him a StreamYard link, guys. But that Zoom, yeah, that looks good. Everybody there, you can read that. All right, I got to cut and paste here for him. And then go on the old Xe side here, guys. Give me just a second. I'm going to get him on. We'll get things rocking and rolling for sure. And I think he's going to get enabling fever. What do you guys think? Because there's some stuff in here I want. But I, have a car payment. You've got to pay rent. Teague, it's in the X chat. All right. Because I'm doing this by myself tonight. I've got to So check this out. Check this out. So it shows right here, like under these Godzilla figures. Let me know if you're in, Teague, if I don't hear the little pop, because this is covering up my whole screen. No promises. All right. So you can see it says 0 bids 4 days because it ends on Sunday. So do the ending soonest. And then, guys, you comic book people, you're gonna freak out when you see all this stuff this guy has. This is just one of the 3 sites. Action figures and everything else. We got one called Monsters in Motion. And we might be here for a couple hours showing this stuff, and I'm down. So, hi, look at that. Black Panther, everyone. The run we just did with JT and myself. Right now, 1 through 15, it's $100. So you can click on it and then, add it to your watch list or however you want to do this. But if you scroll down, just keep scrolling, keep scrolling, keep scrolling. They'll talk to you a little bit about their condition. These are actually, they say near mint condition, and they're pretty good. They're pretty good. I wouldn't say that they're probably near mint. I like everybody in the chat might think near mint, we're kind of like, when you say near mint, we want near mint. You know what I mean? But they're not fine. If they say near mint, it's not going to be a VF or a F. I can tell you that. If it's near mint, it's pretty much near mint. And they have a full refund policy and everything. Like they do a lot of business. So let me X out of that one. But Black Panther 1 through 15, the run's only going through 100 for $100 right now. That's not too bad. But what's really cool about the comics for them, and I'm going to show you some crazy stuff that they do, is I've been wanting to get into some of the older comics, and I didn't think to pull them out. Stuff like House of Mysteries, and I think it was Buddy or Gap, and one of us were talking about that. Maybe Fanty. Are you in yet, JT? There you are.
Hello.
Hey, buddy.
I'll be able to hear you better in a couple of seconds when my headphones kick in, but at least there's no overbleed. Hello. And hello, everybody.
Hey, man. What's going on?
Just like sitting around, watch as much baseball as I could take, and Dewcock, Overlord DVDs, great show, but just nothing of interest on their topics for me tonight.
Look at the interesting stuff I'm going to show you guys tonight, man. When I said enabling, this is what I mean.
Look at that Space 1999. That's
and it's already hit the chat. That's gonna go for a couple $100, dude.
Look how cloudy the plastic is. So I'm assuming it's from like the 20th century, but not contemporary to the show.
It's original. So you can click on it, right? And it's an eBay website. So you can look at the pictures and you can click on it and then go to the back. You know what I mean? Check dates.
That packaging is way better than what I remember for their toys.
Yeah,
they had really good toys though, because obviously the whole show was like the models, so they had kind of had the toys ready to go when the show happens. You know what I mean? Like Eagle was their most popular model, or the most popular toy.
This guy does.
He was huge too.
He does this shit every week, Teague. Every freaking week he has these, and this is nothing. This is just the tip of the iceberg. And I have a whole nother site, enabling site that I haven't. But he'll pull off stuff like Human Torch. These are your original runs, man.
I'm figuring this guy lives in like the Midwest or like Southwest, right? He's got like a huge solar panel and like a hybrid, and he just takes his electric car from place to place buying all these comics. Look at that.
He started off, I think, just maybe bought a storage locker or found a friend who had a bunch of stuff, or was probably in the comic book industry and action figures and had a store or two, and then he maybe bought a store and then realized I can make more money just selling these and then I can keep what I want, right? For myself or for my kids.
That's what I do with baseball tickets.
Yeah. But check this out. I mean, Marvel Presents #3. Now sometimes he'll have full runs, Teague, 1 through something. I'm going a little bit slow so everybody can see it. How about on a Thursday night watch party, Star Wars? What am I doing tomorrow night?
Look at that. $30
I'm doing.
That is a great deal. 10 Guardians or about 10 Guardians comics for like $3 a piece.
Well, it's auction and doesn't end until Sunday.
All right. So he's going to pull down like $60 for that, man. Well, actually, I would bet that all Marvel prices are ticking down for the moment.
Yeah, but you'd be surprised on how high some of this stuff goes for, man. Because he's selling original stuff. They're pretty well known for being good on their grading as well. So look at this, Jungle Action. That was one of the first Black Panther runs that I've always talked about when I was doing my Black Panther run. So everybody, but here's the problem with this one, Teague. You got to know your comics, right? Most people will know, why is it only going for $78? Because number 5 is the first Black Panther that came into Jungle Action series. 1 through 4 is something else, like a Tarzan type kind of guy, right?
I think I remember the Tarzan type guy.
Yeah, it might even be Tarzan, but I didn't want to quote myself on that. But number 5,
he can't be copyrighted. He can't, like, no one can fully own that copyright. That's why there's so many movies. Yeah, he's a 19th century idea. He wasn't an American copyright. It's more than 2 lifetimes. No one can own those cinematic deals outright. So that's why we get different iterations of Tarzan. Robin Hood, too. No one owns him.
Phantom Outsiders here. Hey, man,
Outsider.
We're not doing the Joker. JT Kirk had serious internet problems, and he can't get on. It was his idea to do the Joker. It's the first issue. So I'm just doing enabling and showing a lot of really good. You've seen me do this before on Mark's channel, maybe, but not in detail.
If you don't know the story of the Joker, though, he's an American soldier. He joins to go to Vietnam. He is in a platoon with the Kingpin. It's very strange. They both origin at the same time. One, a life of crime, and one, of course, a life of super crime. So we have both of them here, the DC and the Marvel bad guys. And somehow R. Lee Ermey is the causal force of all of our misery in these two comic book universes. I love the Joker origin tale. In issue 2, that's when Private Pile starts to have this breakdown. In issue 3,
spoiler alert, they don't go into an origin tale on the first issue. It's straight into action. So it's for kids. It's way different than some of the Kirby stuff we've been doing. And you'll see next week if we can, if it works out. But check this out.
It's a great idea. It's a Bond. I don't think Bond invented it, but they popularized it because every Bond movie starts at the end of the last mission. You get a big, huge dose of action, and while you're sitting there with your brain running down out of your ears, you're like, all of a sudden they're like, "So 007, go downstairs and get your gear from Q," and then they give you the exposition.
Yeah. So I'm gonna go through some of these kind of quick because they're not heavy hitters. Just Punisher 1, 2,
Punisher.
3.
Wow.
Yeah, but it's
Punisher is going to figure in big next year on Daredevil.
Yeah,
Punisher is actually going to be either killed or become part of the police department, but he's going to be. I think he's going to be killed because he's such. They hate that character, right? But this is the rumor going around New York that the Punisher will be an inspiration for an anti-vigilante police task force of cops that the Daredevil will kill. Because, hey, they're not good cops anymore, right? They're Punisher cops, and they wear, like, Punisher body armor. There's, like, a whole Punisher corps of cops.
Yeah. Who knows what these people are doing with these comic books anymore? This is why I'm showing you this stuff.
I know what guy told me. I know what they're doing with the TV show. I don't know what they're doing with the comic.
Who cares? I don't even care.
I gotta be honest with you, that TV show seems to have very good production value. It's filmed well, but
look,
interesting.
Yeah. Check this out for comics fans. Like, you can get the Infinite Crisis run, the Identity Crisis run, and the Final Heroes in Crisis run. All of those. You can get all of those, right? So what's going on with my screen over here? Oh, okay. Am I caught up?
Identity Crisis, by the way, a great name for a cover band if you guys want to start one. I would go see Identity Crisis.
My nose is itchy. Turn my cam off.
Dave, stop thinking about the 1980s and your nose will stop itching.
Yeah. Sorry guys. I don't want to see me rubbing my nose on here we go. Okay. So I took an interest to number one, if I can afford it, this Batman Beyond, but it doesn't have the expensive run.
I like Batman Beyond a lot. I love his aesthetic. I love Bruce Wayne as like the Guardian type character. And there's a bunch of Batman Beyond shit in the beginning of the Admiral Teague show.
I've got a couple of action figures I'm thinking about getting. Buddy saw one the other day. We were exiting each other back. Look at these lots that you can get. But those aren't what I'm really looking for. I'm waiting for here we go. Here comes some of the heavy hitting type stuff, right?
Here we go.
And you can see the difference.
Whoa, 70. That is as much the Amazing Spider-Man run number 22 to 100.
Yep, you saw it already.
That takes some serious research to make sure that shit's right because it's been reissued over and over, although most of them say reprint right on them.
But look at
I would be Dennis Leary of that. That's the
Detective
cost of
Comics.
The American Stratocaster for that much money.
I knew you were gonna go off on it. That's nothing yet. So look at New 52 Detective Comics, only $38. Look what at 22 to 100 is going in 1698. That's low right now. It's still got 4 days. It'll go for more, but one a week ago went for over $5,000.
Jeez.
That was just one set. He had he's got now look what he's doing here. Number 22 to 100, full run. Now, if you want to check conditions, just click on it. Right? Scroll down. You can see what a 50 goes for at a 7. That's pretty good. A 7. And he'll list them all. He'll go through them and tell you exactly which ones he thinks are near mint or which ones they think are, fine or FR, which isn't very good, but very good here. VG plus. And it's a full run though, man, and it tells you all those. And then even sometimes, I don't know if my scroller is a little bit, there we go. You can get close-up pictures at the bottom. See that, JT, when it pops up? Well, you can see it. So if you go all the way, if you click on the link of the one you like.
You called me, did you call me JT by mistake?
Probably.
JT in the chat. I'm like looking at the chat, like, wait a minute. He's not on his phone, kicking around in the chat.
If you go to the bottom of the listing, you can even get close up most of the time, not every time, but look, they even post the close-ups of every single one of these. So you can
This is what this guy does for a living. He's a total online merchant pro. He's a total pro.
Absolute pro. But you can see exactly what you're getting here. Then when you get to number 50, which is the high-end one here, right? This is the one that's very expensive. It's not that bad. But the point being here is you get the full run, right? So when you click on it, again, if you can just scroll all the way to the bottom, sometimes he'll do close-ups of all of them. Is this coming on the YouTube side?
If there's enough money in it, if there's enough money at stake there, you got to serve someone a close-up. You have to. That's like the $100 video game that doesn't show you gameplay. It's like, check out these cutscenes. Like, anyone can make that. Show me what I'm going to end up playing.
Yeah, and then guess what he does here? Now you can do 101 to 193, which I have my eye on, and it's already up to 2200. Why? Because 101 is the Morbius, first appearance of Morbius. And this one, the key issue here, he has it. 129. So he's got 101 and 129 in this. It's a full run. There's your 101 there, right? But I think the 129 is graded. Low grade, but it doesn't matter. Mid grades for the Punisher, because you were talking Punisher, right?
Right.
It's not even graded, everyone. That's why it's going for it's going to go really, really high, dude. So this run it'd
be better if this, like, if it had some like blood on it, right? Dude. It's like some tape marks. Like this Punisher comic was strapped around a club and used to beat down an oppressor.
Is this showing up on the YouTube side, guys, where I'm scrolling through?
I think we are.
Behind?
Let me take a look.
I'm watching it now. Give me just a second because I want to see if this
my other device. It looks as live as could be. But go ahead and give us an indication. Phantom Outsider is replying in more or less real time. Also, there is a 120, 121, Death of Gwen Stacy and Death of Green Goblin. Man, the death of Gwen Stacy was done so badly in TASM 2.
Okay. So what's going on here, guys? I am sorry. I'm scrolling down and showing Here we go.
Ah,
Let's see if this flips over. There we go. Okay, everybody.
Spider-Man
My
Punisher
apologies.
comic.
It's StreamYard will
This
not
motherfucker's
automatically.
old. I had this
Nah.
when I was a really little kid. These are like 1978, aren't they?
Easily.
Maybe 1973, 4.
But this one right here goes several $1,000s in this condition, dude.
Comics for 35 cents when I started buying Star Wars comics. All my Star Wars comics say 35 cents. So this is 20.
Okay, so here's what's happening, Teague. StreamYards doesn't automatically switch my tabs for me. So
you have basic StreamYards.
Let me.
Oh wait, no, you have good StreamYards. You don't have the motherfucking dock.
No, but they won't let me switch tabs. I have to hit the button. So let me explain real quick to the audience again. Basically, what you do, guys, is you click on the one that you guys, everybody in the chat, what you were watching. If you click on one, this is what you'll get here, right? And you can see the bidding process and everything. Look at that; it's already going for 2,300.
I'm swooning. That is that is a Fender Stratocaster made in America with all the trimmings plus like a gig like a case and all your equipment and everything but an amp.
Yeah, hey buddy's not into the Punisher, but for this guy to have that ungraded and it looks like it's in pretty good condition, dude. I would assume that this lot by itself is going to go way over $4,000. This is the one I think went almost for $6,000 before I even stopped watching it a week or two ago. So what I'm explaining to the audience now is when you click on it, I'm scrolling back up. If you see this part right here.
Hey, Gap After Dark, don't start with me because I'm a Latino, motherfucker. I saw what you said to Paulie. Don't start with me, man.
What happened?
I'm just warning Gap After Dark for his strong anti-Latino tendencies. He's going to come after me and say that I don't know what I'm talking about. I'm Latino. I'm messing with him. Gap's my friend.
Okay, the Gap's cool, dude.
Gap is great.
Everybody
Gap is great. He's a hero. Gap is a hero of the Saving Star Trek channel because someone tried to put some fucked up stuff in there about me, and he zapped it before anyone saw it. So he's a hero to me. Look, he's laughing. He's laughing it up.
He stood by me during all that other stuff too.
He was right, Paul. He was wrong. You're not supposed to go after people who ask you a simple question or tell you how they feel.
No.
We're in the opinion business. Oh, everyone's got one.
Check this out. So there's the 101, 102, right? And so
I had the year on it.
You scroll all the way down to the bottom of the listing and you get the
hold on a second. Let me see what year it says. Scroll.
Oh, it won't. You got to look at the cover. I mean, the inside cover.
Oh, is it? Yeah, you're right. It's a 4-digit number, but it's not the year.
But I just wanted to show everybody. I'm not going to drop all that money if I can't get a really good look at them. Most
Spider-Man
of the time,
108. Yeah. You're about 12 years into the character.
Yeah,
maybe we'll go down a little less.
Dude, I might even put a bid in for this. I'm going to tell you why. This right here. These are investment grade comics, dude. I won't be able to afford this. I can promise you that. There's no reason, and the only reason why this won't go for so much money. Is there an
old folks home near an ATM by your house? I mean, you could probably make the money fairly quickly.
No, the only good thing I got going on is people dropped a lot of dime on it last week, but there's only one winner each week, right? So the number 2 guy from last week probably came back, is going to do this again and again and again until he freaking wins it, right? But they're going to run out of these. So basically what these people do is
like Tom Connors, back off. Like we've identified the bit with the secret bidder. It came from Wisconsin. It's Tom Connors. So it's a man named Thomas J. Connors Jr.
Check this out, T. So you can get 22 to 100, 101 to 193, and
it's still blank, by the way.
It's still blank. Okay, so I got to go back.
Yeah, our screen is blank.
All right, so that's what
you know what? This is a good screen for when we come back on Juneteenth for the show.
Thank you for saying that because I can't see that when I have to share it back again.
I didn't know if I was in line or not, but after like the last one, I figured I'd just pipe up on that one.
Yeah, the problem with StreamYard is I have to go back now and I have to add the other one back to stage again. So thanks for letting me know that. That's why I have a separate computer. So I can see that too.
Yeah.
Yeah. So not only did I have to switch to the other tab, and I didn't even know that it wasn't working, I had to share back, and then I had to share this one. Well, everybody knows StreamYard. I complain about it every time.
Amazing Spider-Man 107 was April 1972, says Buddy Hepburn. So that is just about 10 years into the title, right? 762 is the beginning of Spider-Man, or is it 60? Spider-Man just kind of comes out gangbusters. He may have been animated within a year of him being created. He is the most successful. By the way, if I'm correct about this, in the world of comic book characters, it's Spider-Man and everybody the fuck else.
Yeah.
Yeah. And that like half of all comic book swag is Spider-Man swag.
But you can also get, see, I clicked on this, but you guys won't see it. So I'm not gonna mess with that anymore. Everybody who can go to the site and click on it for the ones you want to check out, I've shown that.
1963 starts it. Okay. So
yeah, early 60s.
That Spider-Man cartoon was out within months of the comic. That comic was either a runaway success or they like had a merchandising deal ahead of time. Like this is our Spider-Man. He'll be great at it. The kids will love him.
Yeah, and Fanti had a really good point there with the appraisals and all that. But that's why it's good to scroll all the way down. And once you click on which one you like, to see if you have those close-ups, and I think they will do it. But here, look, you can get the full run all the way to 300 if you have the money. So you can get 20-something to 300 here. And I have this run, 190-something to 299. And
now this is enough. This is enough money here for a night out and enough booze to change Billie Eilish's mind, guys. I mean, that's what this comic book is worth to some people.
If I remember correctly, and people in the chat can hold me to this, I think Clobbering Times was going to get the ROM Omnibus, or somebody in the chat was going to get the ROM Omnibus. Maybe it was Mark or Nick Weiser or somebody. But here's ROM, the original run, 1 through 75, and it's only going for like $54. I hearted this one, dude, just in case. There's other things I want to get. But look how cool. This is what I mean about enabling, Teague, right?
Did ROM like enable Moon Knight, by the way? Like, was that like this character needs to be high, like is like better than we did the first time. We need to try it again.
ROM is one of those fly under the radar ones, like years later. People liked it. But
yeah,
you never knew how popular it really was. And it's a popular series. I'm really kind of surprised it's going less.
Some kind of cult status, and people like running around comic book stores like, I bought this weird other comic and I saw the ad for ROM and it is freaking captivating. It had a captivating ad.
I'm gonna do this for DJ Play Nice again.
Hey DJ Play Nice, good to see you, buddy.
Hail to you. Thanks for coming in.
It's eBay.
It's eBay. It's neatstuffcollectibles.com. I'm gonna put this in the chat again. I should just pin it. Copy. I should be able to move my screen over just a little bit. It's going to make me, I'll have to go back, but that's okay. There you go. It's in the chat. I don't know how many messages can you pin?
Warriors.
How many messages can you pin there, JP?
One, only one at a time. You can have a poll and a pinned message is the most you can do.
Okay, but
if you want to be sneaky, you could put your other website into the poll and just have no questions.
No
answers.
Oh no, I don't want to do that. What is it doing here?
Dave. Okay, Dave will be back in a moment. Hopefully he knows he's gone. Hopefully. And hopefully he hears me. Where are you at? Oh, there he is. Okay.
Yeah. It does this freaking. No, it's the StreamYards where I have to go back and forth and back and forth.
I was over in like the private chat, like asking if you knew you were even off because we've been having that weird. Thank God for Streamlabs, the world's most like expensive, and StreamYard is the most expensive and fucking up to date, like easy to use, user friendly software, and it does this to everyone all the time. All my shows with Snowdub was on, I got kicked as soon as I said hello, and I was gone.
Well, luckily, it does this to me a lot, or when going back and forth. Yeah, I boomed it, but I knew how to fix it really quickly. That just takes experience, I guess.
Yeah, you have the same.
All right, but here's another heavy hitter, dude. I have this run of Defenders 1 through 152. Number 1 isn't that great, but I had a graded one, and somebody bought that, and I made money off of it, so I just kept my original number 1. Some Star Trek magazines there for you, Teague.
There you go.
Hey,
$30.
but check this out. Another heavy hitter. Tomb of Dracula, man. This is one. I have some Werewolf by Night, but I always wanted these. I don't know why. I'm again, if I click on it, if you guys like it, just go to the website. You can follow along. Am I Gen Z? I don't even know what that is. I'm old enough, I guess.
I think we're Gen X. We might be Gen X.
I can apply for senior housing.
I don't know. Yeah, I think I can apply for that soon.
Am I showing my cam again?
Before I die.
That's okay. I'll try not to sneeze or blow my nose on camera here.
Ever since I found this ring, I've stopped apparently aging. It seems to have taken care of everything. It also is good for shoplifting. I put it on and I just take whatever I want.
Well, the pacing, what keeps me young is buying this stuff, but it also ages me because I'm going to buy stuff I can't afford.
Right.
Because look at we're only on page 1, I think. You realize that, right?
Yeah, this guy's got a treasure trove of stuff. And I guess what happens, he gave up on his physical location, huh?
Teague, every week. Look at this. You're not going to find this too often, dude. And not at Tomb of Dracula, 1 through 70. Screw it. I'll share this tab. Well, we'll go through it because I want to share this one here because we did the Spider-Man ones, right? And
look at that.
Yeah.
And today they have TikTok. TikTok, Dave.
Yeah. So that's sharing on the YouTube now, right?
Yes. We see all the stuff you're scrolling down.
I'm trying to catch on to how they split
Batman,
these. They split these tabs.
Series.
But
go back there and let's see if they have an inflatable Harley Quinn.
They probably do. So you can go and look at the grades here. And do they have the pictures at the bottom?
Looks like we have some.
Not on this one, okay? Not on this one. They did the Spider-Man. See what I mean? Most of the time, the heavy end stuff, they'll do. Like the Spider-Man's ones, you can really get it. Because he knows.
Look at all that. I mean, that's
how much it's going to go for. Yeah. He knows how much it's going to go for, right? So now I got to go back and present the screen again, but no big deal. I know how to do it.
Mile High Comics. Why do I feel like that's in Denver? Filling in back issues in the late 1990s.
Yeah. And we're only on page 1. So how's this for enabling, Teague? Pretty cool, right?
You're freeing people from their money. You're stimulating the economy.
But check out the old stuff. And this is what I've been wanting to do on my Wednesday nights is pick some old stuff, even though it might be known like Joker, but Tales to Astonish, Tales of Suspense, House of Mystery. Look at Doctor Strange, 1 through 81 there. I'll go through some of these pretty fast now because I hit up the
I can't, by the way, did you hear that they're gonna they undid everything is good now, everybody's happy. And Benedict Thundersnatch is coming back for Doctor Strange 3.
It's
absolutely unbelievable to me.
I'm sure the music's going to be loud. There'll be some cover songs. The action scenes will be great, but they look all the same. But
they say Raimi's coming back to direct it.
He's a draw for Doctor Strange, though. I mean, right? But here's your action figures.
The last one did well because it came out like in a short time after that, like the WandaVision show had people just wondering what the hell. They're like, it must be me because the MCU had goodwill. Yeah, like people were happy with the MCU. It's like, oh, I guess I just didn't get WandaVision. Like Falcon and Winter Soldier, I'm sure this show will get better. Let me go see this movie. And in that time, like we just got hammered with some of the worst stuff ever.
See, what did Phantom say? You got to remember the publisher. Oh, I thought it said Punisher. It was either Stanley's uncle or cousin. So exaggeration.
Well, so was
the family. Yeah. Here's some action figures for you. Old school DC multiverse. Nobody's even bidding on those yet. Old school Mad magazine, monsters. Those are kind of cool. And look, you get 60 of them. Old school stuff here, dude. Here to the right. You know what I'm saying? Mad, monsters, weird, terror, those kind of things. $265 for those, man.
Yeah.
Those will go for $300.
They just
You
had
get
those in like the
60 of
nurse's
those.
office in grammar school.
That's kind of really cool. A lot. Did I heart those? I need to heart those. That is a really, really good lot right there to get 60 of those.
Phantom Outsider is going on an anti-Stanley rant.
Okay.
By the way, I just want to say I was sent a check of $1,000 by the Stan Lee family, whereby I have agreed to push back on his behalf. You know, maybe Kirby was just a really good artist and needed someone to direct him. Someone had to figure out how to pay the bills, right?
Well, I wish I knew what happened.
Kirby wasn't on the phone with the
run.
publisher saying, you know, I'll get you the money. You know what I mean? That was Stan Lee. Sorry. You know, for every Mick, there's a Keith. I don't get this thing where some people hate the Mick and love the Keith, or hate the Keith and love the Mick of this particular world of the comics. You know what I mean? It's like people's like, it's Mick and Keith. They're the freaking best. Like, meanwhile, Mick and Keith's like on and off hate each other.
And they're still going on tour. But
it's the money.
It's weird.
$3 million a night each.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. They're not doing it for the money. That's for sure. You
can
get some models here.
Fun. They're doing it because it's fun.
Some old school G.I. Joe stuff, dude. I mean, old school stuff. Look at this stuff, man. Elf Quest.
That is some very old
I don't know
school
if there's
G.I.
any
Joe
more
stuff.
Heavy hitter comics stuff going on here, but there's some
Batman 89 stuff. Are those the movie trading cards?
Trading
$41.
Now,
I had the full series.
Buddy, Phantom, everybody else. Here's some more Godzilla stuff here. I can tell you one thing I regretted not bidding on, and it went for really cheap, and it went way under my tolerance level, was a whole set of all Speed Racer stuff. But he had like 5 little cars. He had 3 of the big ones. He had all the figures, all of them, right? He had like 6 or 7 different Racer X vehicles, a whole lot of, there's like 36 pieces to it. Only went for like 200 some bucks. And I was like, I can keep the ones I want and give away the other ones as gifts, you know? And I forgot to bid, dude, and it went under my tolerance level.
That sucks, but you know what?
I totally forgot. And Speed Racer, you know, that tells you how old I am, man.
You know what you'll enjoy? Phantom Outsider is continuing his anti-Stan Lee screed. So Stan Lee was like going out golfing with the publisher, who said, hey, DC has great numbers with their Justice League book. Maybe we can do a team like that. A book was delayed. Kirby threw together the Avengers in 10 days. Here's the thing that a lot of people don't tell you this. During the time that happened, Jack Kirby was going through some serious delusions where he thought if he cut a hole in the sheet and then shot heroin, it would not be wrong. He misread the Bible somehow. Yeah. So Stan Lee straightened him out, paid off all his bills, and paid off the cops and the liquor store owner he shot to get the money. I'm just kidding.
No, it's all good.
It must have been.
I love my chat, dude.
Honestly,
I love our chat. The chat here on these Wednesday and Thursday.
My chat too. You guys these are my people too.
They
know me.
They know their stuff. They know their stuff. So like Buddy, Phantom, and a bunch of other people, they know their Godzilla. And I came to this site one day. I was just scrolling through, had a bunch of Godzilla stuff. I bought one before from them, and I saw, I think it was a Ghidorah. It was going for like $1,000. It was going for $1,000 some with like 3 or 4 days left. And I was like, what in the hell is going on? So people knew that one particular thing was highly collectible and people are buying it. This is what I would talk about on Mark's show. This stuff, old stuff, is worth a lot of money. Like even New Mutants, because it's Deadpool, right? That's the Deadpool one is in there. I forget what issue is that, guys. The Deadpool and New Mutants. Is it I want to say 79 or 89, but I don't think that's correct.
By the way,
the first Deadpool's in here. That's why it's going to go for probably 600 or 700, right? Yeah, but you get the full run, dude. The original New Mutants.
That sounds like a pretty good deal.
It is for now. It is right now, but not.
We got a clarification on Stan Lee from Phantom Outsider saying he likes him, but he just thinks he took way too much credit. I think he had to go out there and be the face of a corporation. So he was like bombastic. I don't know if in the office he was like, F you have no, I think he was just like, so, here you are on like, local Cincinnati daytime TV. What do you have to say about your comic book? And he's like, oh, boy, we worked really hard on this. It's a great comic book. It's like, are you a genius? Damn right I am. Yeah. I said, what is he supposed to, you know what I mean? It's like, he was just, I think a lot of the comments might have had to do with the fact that they were selling hard. And even though they were making money was never easy in that business.
No.
The fact that they were so successful, I mean, like I said, they're the Mick and Keith of Marvel.
Well, you know who's making money.
To throw together the Avengers is incredible.
Yeah. Yeah. These guys are making money off of all that stuff because they're just doing volume here, man, every week. Now that he's nationally known and now more people even coming to this site. I have a whole nother site for more like action figure. We're going to go to that here in a minute. But check this one out. Silver Age. Guys, everybody in the chat. I'm going to click on this one because I want to show this one. So if you really like old school, I got to share it. Hold on.
Well, you're sharing though. This like Hackney Diamonds, $235 million. It only played like 80 dates. Think about that.
Well, I wasn't calling you JT. I meant to say that because like JT and I were always trying to figure out this effing StreamYard bullshit.
Okay.
So did it finally? Yeah. Okay. It's over on the YouTube side. But
yes, we see it.
Dude. Look at those, dude.
Wow.
101 of these. Look at the price. But look, Doom Patrol, Hawk and Dove, Sea Devils. Sea Devils is an old run that I liked. Metal Man. I think there's a Metamorpho #1. Oh, dude. This is going to go for $600 or $700 easy. This is the kind of stuff I was kind of wanting to not save up for, just to grab a whole lot of stuff like this. There's Brave and the Bold, Batman and Sergeant Rock on a Brave and the Bold old school Justice League.
Wait, Batman and Sergeant Rock crossover or two different titles? I'm trying to like.
No, that's Brave and the Bold. There's a few of Sergeant Rock.
I'm still shaking my head over whether or not there can be a meaningful attempt at a Sergeant Rock movie.
Not these days.
Well, they're talking about it again with Colin Farrell.
Oh fuck me, dude. He pulled off the Penguin, but is he going to pull off Sergeant Rock? Come on, man. They got to get.
You can do an American accent.
But let me switch back to the.
They need to make Sergeant Rock an American again, though. I'd make John Cena or the guy from Reacher Sergeant Rock. The guy from Reacher is a freaking giant gorilla.
Acting like an a-hole lately.
Is he like a woke dick or something?
He had been lately. At least last year he was.
I don't care. I'm going to ignore everything he says and just watch that show. He's great on that.
Yeah, you can do that.
Physical prep.
You can do it. You can do that. You can choose to do that.
Do it with the program.
Here's a DVD. 89 superhero DVD lot for only like 50 some bucks.
I like how it's just mostly superhero. Like some of them, it's like this is the the Billy Zane superhero movie. He's not that super. He's mostly super though.
Well, guys, we're going to move on to even more enabling out of the comic stuff and get into a site that would make me homeless. And then there's another eBay store.
No, not John Cena. You know what? Gap After Dark. Maybe you want Pedro Pascal in there.
Yeah. Kirby was in the military back in the day too. Yep. He served in World War I. Yeah, he wasn't a wuss.
Was it World War I? He was that old? I thought they were both World War II vets, but maybe Kirby was just that old.
I'm gonna assume, Fanty, you meant World War II?
I think it might have been World War II because
I
mean, I'm not saying it's not possible because like his life is still kind of like he's dead in time to be a World War I vet.
No, but he's right. Older. There's pictures of him in uniform
in World War I.
You know what I mean? No, World War II.
Oh, World War II. Which side?
I'm only going to assume you meant.
Which sides were they on?
Huh?
Whose side were they on?
Oh,
like with Stan Lee he fought for the Germans, right? Are we sure Stan Lee fought for America? I don't know. I don't want to certify that. No, I'm just kidding.
No, now check this site out, dude.
And Alan Ritchson is Reacher. Yeah, he's a good actor. I don't really care what he says. It's not going to change my mind about what to do in my life.
I'm
Kirby was
gonna
drafted into the U.S. Army in June 1943.
put
There we
this in
go.
the chat.
He was a
Give me
scout in
just
the
a sec.
infantry. Damn, was it in Europe or Japan?
Where'd it go?
That is such a cool looking steampunk gun down there.
Dude, wait till you see all the stuff that this site has. Everybody, I put that in the chat. Yeah, Fanty, we figured it was just a typo. But no, you're correct. He was in the military, just like Tolkien. Now Tolkien
If he was
in
Yeah,
Tolkien was
was
in
a-
World War One.
That was a decent movie.
How do I get
The
this?
Tolkien biopic was decent. He was born in 1917, but if he was born in France, he could have been in World War One too. Phantom Outsider, don't beat yourself up. Yeah, he could have been there as a child. Maybe his parents were like war tourists, right? Maybe his father was Hemingway.
Okay, here we go. Is it scrolling now for us?
Wow, he landed on Omaha Beach. Wow, badass. He was a man's man. Look at that great stuff from 20,000 Leagues Under the Sea, the old Disney one. With Kirk Douglas.
That's Color Collectibles. I want to do this one. Okay, is it scrolling now, Teague?
Yes. I want that freaking weapon. Be careful we don't show the real enough looking gun too much.
Well, look at the categories. I've got a bunch of stuff saved up on this one too that I haven't bought. But look at all the categories, man. You can go to the alien stuff here.
By movie. They gave up an Alien vs Predator.
Yeah, or animation, and you can go back to Hanna-Barbera, heavy metal movie, Marvel Comics. What did I wanted to show?
The heavy metal mag was so fucking weird. It was just
Godzilla.
so weird.
Here we go. We can click on some Godzilla stuff. So
I
they
knew
actually
Godzilla. I
have.
served with him.
Oh, we can click on one like here.
Well, that's some seriously old Godzilla.
And of course, it'll show now.
I just watched the very first Godzilla movie with Germ. He showed me the original version, like the Japanese version.
Yeah, they have such obscure stuff too. And look, there's page after page after page. That's just the Godzilla stuff.
Oxygen Destroyer is also a good name for a band.
Well, you can probably get one on this.
It's a bunch of Alka-Seltzer. It's the Oxygen Destroyer.
Yeah. And I lost the screen.
It was a pretty good effect, and I liked it in the movie, but what are you going to do?
Well, you can get Serizawa. You can get Serizawa in the old school diving suit. You know what I'm talking about?
Yes.
Of course, I logged off on my account. This StreamYards is really pissing me off for everybody. It's acting really, really freaking weird with this site.
Guys, it's not Dave. StreamYards is really rude. They take a lot of money from you. Like, if you get the monthly plan, instead of just paying all the money at once, where what happens is Jules and the two hitmen from Pulp Fiction come over to get the money. If it's once a month, they send a giant irradiated cockroach to throw you up against the wall and take the money from you.
Yeah, and I don't even use the premium one.
They took the duck. They took the duck down, or is there like now a middle tier?
I have no idea. I just still use they add on little features to the basic tier, so it works for me. But this one's going to cause me a lot of problems. It's not going to let me do a lot of things I want to do and show stuff. But just look.
I know that feeling.
Every one of these categories will have subcategories. So if you go down to like, let's say you want to do Star Wars, spaceship and vehicles, look at the list.
Wow. They got everything. It's a galactic.
It doesn't even fit on the damn screen.
It's a drop-down menu that just keeps going.
It keeps going and going. Dude, listen, this site right here, man, you can spend hours just look at the Star Trek. you know, and if I click on it, it'll show the one, but it's going to get all screwed up. So you guys can go on and click. I'll probably
I need to call eBay and get the advertisement for my show put on this site.
Yeah. So Star Wars has even some badass. Let's see. Star Wars Classic Trilogy. Let's just click on the classic one. See what it shows. Let's see if it goes on to the YouTube side.
Where's this guy located?
I'm just going to stick with this one. Yeah, it worked. I don't know what this stuff. This is just basic stuff, but you can get all kinds of models, figures.
That Millennium Falcon's pretty badass.
Oh, they have the Bandai. A buddy or somebody else was talking to me about that one. Maybe it was Sean. They have the Bandai special one that comes with the figures, and instead of decals, it has the, you have to put them in the water. They're not the peel and stick. They're actually the water ones, which are way better apparently.
By the way, DJ Play Nice, I was also looking at guitars earlier today. I think I'm going to get an American Stratocaster.
Oh, I can show you a couple Spider-Man ones that this guy down here in Newport Richie has. They go for a couple $1,000s each. But look at the lots of books.
Darth Vader limited edition. See, there's a guy in my town who has a comic shop, and when I went in there, all they had was hardcover compendiums and stuff like collectibles of this level of cost or more. And I was just like, as I looked around for a minute, like no one walked in or out, and they didn't give a fuck I was there. And like what went through my mind is the Mafia needs places to little under money too.
Yeah, and apparently people don't give a F about the prices, because look at this probe droid. It's the premium one, $890, sold out.
Does it actually fire a few times? But
it probably
does.
Look, Gamora Guard.
No, I didn't hit it that hard.
Gamora Guard sold out. Sold out. Star Wars light, everybody. I might get that logo light.
You know what? I just would say that Boba Fett sold out the Gamorrean guards before the Gamorrean guards were ever sold out here. The way he treated them in that show, my God! I was
hoping that there it is. Mother, it's sold out already. Oh,
what's sold out already?
This one, this Bandai. Bandai is a very popular model kit brand because they're just well known for being high end quality, right?
They're the Admiral Teague of models.
Yeah. This particular one was the special edition grade that had the little figures and everything on it. I was considering it if I could sell some other stuff, because there's other stuff I want, and I couldn't get that and this, right? Unless I sold some stuff that I don't want anymore. You know how it is. It's already sold.
Welcome to Staying Poor with Admiral Teague and Dave.
Yeah, sold out. MF.
Wow.
Fuck. Dude, that model right there is a 172. That's the unless you spend thousands on those pre-made ones like icons or stuff like that, master replicas, this is the model you get. Or those old school BMFers, they call it. The Millennium Falcon Smugglers Run. I don't know who puts that out. Maybe Hasbro or Disney, whatever. That one's a good one. But top tier models, it's this one, or you spend thousands on other stuff.
Think about it, right? Like you could have a hostage crisis movie, and they'd be like, let the people go. It's like, all right. Here's the deal. Everyone has their price. This is what I want. I want 300 first run Kirby era Silver Surfers and 25 Imperial probe droid models. You leave them behind the billboard at the old airport, and I'll let them go.
And you let them go, right? That's when you buy the old ERTL ones. You put them with some super glue, whatever model glue, and then you launch them off the roof with some firecrackers attached to it, right?
Yeah, it's just that, like, think about it. Like, you could sell this stuff, and it's kind of like if you needed to. And I saw that Millennium Falcon posable desk lamp that's available right now on Amazon.
Yeah, look at the one underneath it. Is what I was just talking about. Look at this one.
The bottom one, that is really cool.
This Falcon. Remember, I was just talking about getting that model, the Bandai one, or you spend thousands from master replica, right? Look at this.
What, $12,000 fucking dollars?
13,000. sold out.
That's why when Sean sent me the model of the destroyed starship from the Enterprise episode, for the Star Trek episode Doomsday Machine, I was like, this is like $1,000 gift.
Oh, Buddy has the BMFer that I just talked about, T. Yeah, so those are the alternative versions you get. You get those, or you move up in grade to like Bandai. The BMFers are great. They're huge, right? And then they made a Smuggler's Run, which is huge. Then you go to the Bandai ones if you want really, really good model ones you want to put together yourself, right?
Mm-hmm.
Or you buy movie replicas and spend 13 grand. Now, there's another one, it's called Icons. They go for a couple grand, like the X-Wing. I can get a nice, really good master replica Icon for like $1,500-$1,600, but I'm not doing that because that's rent.
I made one strategic buy on toys. I bought like $100 worth of Black Label Admiral Holdos. So when people look to complete their collections in 100 years and they're like, "There's this one figure no one has," I'll be like, "Yes, it's $100,000 for Admiral Holdo, the most important Star Wars character of all." And they'll be like, "How could that be true?" It's like, well, kind of killed the whole thing, right?
Yeah. I mean, but if you had this kind of money, and you said to yourself, oh, "I need something for my my mansion lobby, my mansion room," right? You'd get this one. But to be honest with you, you get the Bandai one, put it together, do it nicely, it's just as nice. But this,
honestly, no one's going to know the difference. There's so few people who are capable of telling the difference.
Well,
you and I, yes.
This thing, yeah, but this thing is so accurate and correct.
I was going to say, if you need a movie prop for like
if you
filming,
need a movie,
you've got that fucking thing.
You spend 13 grand on, but you can get the X-Wings
it's
for
fucked
15.
up that it cost 1,000 times more than it cost to make the one that they made at to make the movie off of, right? That cost them like $4.
Yeah, let's see if the back button works on this. I don't think it will. So I might have to back out again, guys, and do the thing I've been doing tonight. So let's just stop sharing that window.
There is so much Star Wars swag now and so much Star Trek swag. And the only good news about it is the price has come down because no one wants it. They've really destroyed their branding. And there's a lot of bad, horrible shit out there. But as far as Star Trek goes, like, they're starting to only make stuff that looks like the original Star Trek and sell that as merchandise because they know no one wants any of their garbage.
Yeah. Yeah, and this is only, I'm going to show you one more site. This is more for you Transformers and He-Man.
My favorite, Transformers.
Transformers.
Optimus Prime, my favorite.
I love I'm going to get one of those figures soon. I'm going to show this site. It's another eBay one.
An inexpensive Optimus Prime, and then I personally am going to send it to Sean Carter and have Sean Carter draw it up as like a Rainbow Pride Warrior Optimus Prime, and I'm going to have that for as my little voodoo doll.
Nice.
Yeah, give it a little red hat with some like what is that, Israeli writing on it? I've never been able to figure out that guy's avatar. Oh, here we go.
Now,
Optimus
guys,
Prime.
So let's trans up.
Trans up.
Kicking in. Yeah. So again, this is an eBay site. I put that in the chat.
Trans rights, ladies and gentlemen. We will not be invisible. We may turn into mundane objects like cars that you see all over the place, but we will not be invisible. Just undetectable.
Nope. Same as the other one. You just scroll down. Oh, this site has some cool.
Look at that Rancor.
Yeah.
Look at that Rancor. Look, it's Luke and the Rancor.
So you go down here to this little box, right? I do ending soonest, although this isn't really an auction site. This one,
oh, look at that.
I think
Vader.
they can do auction sites, but I just do the ending soonest anyway.
Oh, no wonder Vader's $30. He's from Kenner. He's still pretty damned old.
It's still old, and it has the saber. That's nothing. Some of the stuff he has on here, but you can get a lot of Thundercats in here too. In fact, I might even get
Carnage.
Speaking of which,
Rambo, that's pretty cool.
Ghostbusters. Where are my Ghostbusters people at? Mutant.
Where's Peter Venkman? Where's Venkman's girl?
Look at Tigra and Wily Cat there together.
Wow. Hey, there you go.
Shredder.
April O'Neil.
Yeah.
A fun April O'Neil, unlike the one in the first Ninja Turtles movie who hated being in it. Is that Trump in the Stay Puft Marshmallow Man? Is that Trump facing him down?
That's Walter Peck.
Oh, I know Walter Peck. Okay, that makes sense.
That jackass, that jackass guy from the.
Hey, that's our president.
But look at that Starscream. It's 100% complete. Just doesn't have the box.
That is badass.
But if you wanted to display it anyway, the only reason why you want the box is because you think you're going to resell it, right?
No, you want the box to split it open and frame on your wall.
Yeah. You want the box if you want but if you don't want to spend $600 and you want everything that came in the box, what's in the box?
I like how the Wolverine has torn his own head off and grown a new one.
Yeah. That's not bad for an original G1 84 Starscream.
Look how much for the turtle.
With all the parts. And then there's one
that
down
isn't
here
a lot of the $80 for the turtle, $235 for the pre-rub 100% complete vintage Starscream.
Yeah, dude, that's not bad for that Starscream right there. And that transforms. Right. So it actually transforms.
The problem with their T800 Terminator head is it needs to be partially damaged to be cool. It's just an Arnold Schwarzenegger bust.
Oh yeah, you can get those too, right?
I'm just saying I wouldn't want this one. It's $15 though. Maybe I would.
Oh, you're welcome, DJ. Sorry, man. The chat. Everybody knows when I'm scrolling like this, I have to look over to my other computer. Good
night, Gap.
Good night, Gap. Yes, thank you for being here. As always, I hope you didn't spend too much. I hope you get what you like.
And don't challenge the authority of my answers ever again. I'm Latino. I can't be wrong.
Where were some of the really, really good Thundercats? So look, this guy has 10 plus pages.
It's Drago.
Right?
How much is Drago? $150.
That's a signed pre-Rocky original, dude.
Oh, that is badass.
Yeah. You see what I'm saying? Now you know what enabling is. This is enabling where you go, holy fuck. Let me get my credit card out. Wait a minute. How much is my card payment?
1998 Captain Kirk, $1,500, signed by Shatner.
And it's graded. So it's claimed that is his signature, and it's an 80 near
it's
mint.
The worst ever Captain Kirk outfit. It's his camping outfit from Star Trek 5.
Outfit. Yeah. 98. Yeah, I'm not.
Oh wait, no, actually, is that his Guardian of Forever, City on the Edge of Forever outfit?
Well, we can click on it. I'll just come back to this.
I want to know. Yeah.
All right. Star Trek
if I'm going to buy this, I need to know.
And it has the original sticker on it.
Oh, you have to change our screen.
Oh, hold on.
We still have the other screen.
Share this tab instead. There we go.
Oh, wow. Yeah, I think it is. It's TV show era. It's the City on the Edge of Forever.
And it's graded 80, which is pretty good, really high. And it has
a really coveted episode. And it's the 50-year anniversary. Oh, that is dope. That is, although I would point out meeting William Shatner is only $500.
Well, yeah, and it's the outfit and everything. So you've got to be like die-hard collector.
It's a great
this is stuff you give to your grandkids. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I'm not spending $1,500 on this one, right?
No, you want like for $1,500, you want the green wraparound tunic.
Yeah. Or I saw a badass NC-1701 with all the main characters and a few other characters signed, framed artwork. It was only like $600, and I was like, "Ooh, I need a main Star Trek thing. I've only got a few little things from Star Trek.
I'm getting in a few weeks. I'm getting what do you call it? NX-01 refit that would have been for Star Trek Enterprise Season 4. It's got the drive section built onto it.
Nice.
Yeah, Sean's making it for me. I can't wait to see it.
I got to talk to him about my huge Battlestar Galactica Viper MK1. You know, the one that's
tell you whatever you need to know.
It's
He
massive.
knows his stuff.
It's 2
My
feet
boy is
long.
wicked smart. He's the Goodwill Hunting of models.
Where is the where are my Thundercats? Ah, sorry. For some reason it doesn't go to the top page. Here we go. I got to scroll up to the top page. Sorry, everybody. It's got some old candy here too. But no, it's not real. But
there's oh man, it's that guy who keeps telling me he's Spider-Man, Miles.
Yeah. Let me find some older stuff here. Some older, like a night. There's an 85.
I didn't risk. Go ahead.
Huh?
Sorry.
No.
I didn't want to risk getting kicked from the chat, and I was over in the Doomcock chat for a minute saying hi to Sean. I almost said, hello, Mexican Ironheart. Banned for life from that chat. Do that one.
Yeah.
By now, he'd be halfway here from North Carolina. Motherfucker.
Coffee.
Look at those weapons.
Look at that. 1985 Martian Manhunter and an original T-800 power arm NECA with all the stuff on it still. That Martian Manhunter is pretty cool, dude.
He looks pretty fucking awesome there.
Yeah. He's
as cool there as much as cool as he is there as much as he sucked in was it Justice League?
Oh, the Martian Manhunter? Yeah.
Oh God.
They introduced him that
fucking
did nothing
retarded.
With it. Then he did nothing with it.
They introduced him, and while they're doing nothing with it, going through everyone's mind is like, so he's been in charge of America's security since movie one? And what the fuck? How come he hasn't been interested enough to help out? Like, why didn't he go Martian Manhunter during the invasion by the Kryptonians?
Check out this little transformer here, dude. This little 1984 cliff jumper.
That is so awesome.
Look at that little thing right there.
By the way, what did you think of Super Wench? Did you see the commercial?
What, the trailer?
The last trailer? Oh my God, he is super bitch.
I'm not watching it. Why would it? Here's the thing.
It should be called Super Trans. He is such a fucking asshole. I hate this. Oh, that is so cool. Look at that face hugger.
Did you see my alien stuff that I have?
No, I love alien stuff though.
You do? I'll re-show.
I'm here. Yeah.
No, my screen. Because now I gotta go.
You gotta do.
I gotta go back. Screen. I have to move this over. That's the problem with StreamYard. I have to move this over.
Oh, look! It's some of them for Aliens Romulus, and they already are costing $25. Oh, there's Hudson,
and it's the face one. Game over.
Game over, man. Game over.
Yeah,
that is awesome.
Yeah, and because you're a military guy, I'll show you this again. For everybody who might have missed it, because I'm a former Marine. You knew that, right, T?
Yes, I did. Sergeant
this
Craig
guy here,
Windricks.
Sergeant Craig Windricks. He passed away a long time ago, and you're like, well, he wasn't in the movie. I got this, and I won't open it. Is because this guy was in the Marine Corps, right? His brother was the lead at the time. His brother was the lead sculptor at NECA, and they allowed him to do his
brother.
Yep. And package it under the alien's name. Now, how cool is that to do that for your brother?
Nice little tribute. Yeah,
damn
it's
right
great.
It is.
It's like, you know what? We're gonna send him to LV 486 so you can have fun.
Yeah,
that is a cool tribute.
Damn right. And here's some retro Kenner alien stuff. But I was looking for my Thundercats, man. Oh, Mutant Turtles.
There we go. You gotta love those. Look at Michelangelo with those rarely shown like nunchuckers because they're illegal in so many places. Weirdly.
Well, what's cool about this, and oddly enough, is they get these action figures. And if anybody needs the chat, what's the Factory Entertainment? I miss good chats. I'm sorry, everyone. Let's see. Buddy says Factory Entertainment has a replica Battlestar Galactica. Oh, the blaster. Yeah, dude. It's way too pricey. They're doing an absolute smashing replica.
A G.
Yeah.
A G though. Yeah, it's a 3D print, $1,000. That's abusive. 3D printers are only going to proliferate. Wait about 3 years on this shit. You're going to be able to get it for like $200.
Sorry, let me cut in, buddy. I'm talking about there was I think it might be Master Replicas or somebody who's doing it. Let me.
My friend Crimron's making a Voyager 3D print with the ablated shielding from the end of the run when they had that weird Batman-like shield.
Yeah, but look at
$500. That's still pretty high. They had cool guns though.
And you look at these Mutant Ninja Turtle ones. Okay, you don't get the box, but you made a great point, T. And this is why these sites, you just dig around, right? And you keep shopping and you keep shopping, and then when you feel it in your gut, you should buy it. I didn't want to drop $500 on that Millennium Falcon, but not how do you think I feel about it now? And it's not because of the money. Well, it is because of the money, but it's that special edition that has the figures and the decals, and it has all this extra shit on it that you can't get normally. And they had it, and now it's gone. Right. What you said is so great because, well, 125 that, but look at all the shit you get.
Look at all the swag. He's got
a
pizza.
Where's Nick?
Where's
Tom? And
I don't know what that's behind him though.
I don't know.
Is that just some sewer debris that's on the stand?
Anybody in the chat can tell me what that orange stuff is?
Or is that the radioactive goo that they find is they find the tubes?
It might be good. It might be kind of good.
It might be the radioactive goo where they find the thrown. I love their origin tale. So I just found this radioactive stuff in the sewer, and the rats were super rats.
Thank you.
I'm sorry, and the turtles became super turtles.
Buddy, and a bunch of us are going to start doing enabling shows. I think, man, you need to come on the show, dude. By the way, because he's got some really cool Transformer stuff that he showed me as well. Two, I want one of them definitely, and the other one I want. It's just a different version, but it's the same thing. It looks just a little bit different.
Buddy sent you the main site link on X.
Yeah, but look at Raphael here, T. You got the nunchucks on Michelangelo, but look what Raphael's holding, and he's got two of them.
He's got his pair of Psy.
Yes. See, so tell me that's
they
not
swap those out a lot too.
This is the original.
Doesn't he get the? Is he the one who always gets the bow staff for whatever reason?
I don't remember.
Or no, is
the
that
show? Tom is the Ninja Turtle guy, right?
The thing is, the one who has the like the two weapons they hate. They hate the nunchuck. Like the turtle cartoon is hard to market in a lot of countries because nunchuckers are illegal. So, and the Parasai are like whatever, they're two knives. So like
they wouldn't even know what those are though.
Well, I mean, after the Elektra movie, right?
Well, shit. Yeah. But look at this.
It's nice to see her back at least.
But you can get Donatello
by the years and
he's got Donatello. He's got his hat and he's got the bow.
He's got the bow staff. Yeah,
he's got the bow staff. So you get the three of those with all their shit
and he's got like also his Nerf gun. He's got like his Nerf gun. He's got a slice of pizza.
Yeah, he's got all this
cans
stuff.
Of soda.
And if you're like a lot of people, you're going to display it anyway. I like a lot. You notice a lot of my stuff isn't open. Well, I'm not opening up Hudson and Wendrix, right?
Right.
For sentimental value. What I would do is go buy one used for like $20 or something, But Hudson is hard to get. Without paying a little bit of money, you can get stuff relatively cheap if you hold off.
Is that the T-1000? Oh, that's Leia.
That's Leia.
Okay, that's Leia. I thought there was a T-1000 pointing his pistol, and that was like the floor that he morphed out of next to him. But it's Leia in her Endor outfit.
Yeah, look at this Jetfire, dude. Smashing, man. It's 100% complete with a PSA card, so you get a graded card original with the directions, all the stuff, the tech specs, right? It's $395, but it's 100% complete, just no box. Who cares if you're going to display it? You just instead of paying $700, You pay $3.95 and get everything.
Yeah,
right?
you just go like, yeah, I gave the box to a children's home so the children could think about having the toy.
Yeah,
Setting goals for
that's a
themselves.
pretty. You might get that a little bit less. I'm sure you could, but if you want reputable places and stuff, I have not bought from these people. I did buy stuff from Neat Stuff Collectibles and Monsters in Motion, and so far, if you guys get comic books off of that Neat Stuff Collectibles, they've been on point, but they do have a return policy, and I think they stand by it because they do this every week and they get pretty good reviews. There's always one jackass out of 1,000, but
I think you know what it is, Michelangelo, because of the nunchucks, he gets like a grappling hook on a chain sometimes on some toys and in some cartoons. That's what the swap out is.
Yeah, Buddy Hepburn, Leonardo Catan is Michelangelo.
He helped me out with that focusing information. And DJ Play Nice is right. The 3D printers, they're that affordable now. Think about this. If you and I just wanted to own a 3D printer, all we have to do right now is set a 12-week time of delivery, right? Buy one BSG gun and then sell them for the same price to like sell 100 of them. Once we get 100 of them, buy the 3D printer and then start sending them out. Or buy the 3D printer and sell 100 of them and pay it off.
Ironcaster, he's a board game kind of guy too. He loves his Common Rider, and hail to Ironcaster. I would put it in the chat, but I can't. Right? I guess I could look at. Oh, is JT sending me a message? Is he? Oh no, that's Buddy sending the link. Thank you. Yeah, that BMF, that Smugglers Run BMF is something I was looking at, but then I was going to get the Bandai and have Sean put it together for me, and it sold. That was the game plan.
You let Sean make a model for you. You've got a friend for life. He loves that stuff.
Oh, I commissioned it for him. But check this. This is some of the cool stuff about these enabling. Look at this Skelegod. I haven't seen that in a long Mattel. It's it's a cheap one, $15, right? But right next to it, you've got a Ramjet, 100% complete, and you get the card, right, Teague? 140. And what you do if you don't give a damn about the cards, you buy a couple of those from this site, right? And then you sell the cards really cheap and you take it off your bottom line, right?
So here's some stuff down. Yeah, I'm here.
Oh,
I'm listening. Here's some stuff down here. I'm interested in the Star Wars stuff. I have a whole bunch of Star Wars stuff from when Revenge of the Sith first came out. So I'm wondering, I have every single kind of clone trooper.
Yeah, these are retro reprint. Well, they're Kenners, so they're not very expensive, but they're not 1978 stuff. Or
mine are whatever. I have 2005 Return of the Sith stuff, so it's 20 years old now. Pretty sure it's Kenner. I think it's what is it, like Force Unleashed or some shit like that. It comes with that coin, that Force coin. I never opened any of them. I have every single color of ARC Trooper.
Yeah, and Buddy and people in DJ, you're welcome again. Agat, I don't know if Fanty, you're still out there. We got 6 people watching. That's cool. Thank you so much. Enabling is always fun. I could do this for hours, right?
If the Mandalorian is $35 already, my ARC Troopers must be $30 to $50.
Yeah, but you put your money together and get something a little bit older. Unless you want
to sell all the ARC Troopers and get replacement parts for my Millennium Falcon and have that up to spec again. I just need to get this compressor off the Hydro drive.
Oh, well,
this have you seen my bitch put a compressor on my hyperdrive? Sorry, go
ahead. Have you seen my Alien Queen and my other? Everybody here has seen my Alien Queen.
I have seen your Alien Queen.
You have seen it?
I have. It's freaking awesome.
Yeah, I've got.
By the way, I love
the
Ghostbusters Keymaster. Oh, no, I have not seen the Predator.
It's badass. It's so badass.
I'm trying to determine what that sticker is. Skylone chest sticker.
Masters of the Universe.
Is that what it is? Okay.
Yeah, I think so.
Master of the Universe comes around.
No. Vintage Master? I'm assuming.
Cyclone Rangers. Isn't that might be from the 60s.
Look at these Ghostbusters Terra Dogs. How
cool
I love
is
it.
That?
They're 1984, dude. I mean, it's crazy.
So expensive. They can't be. They can't be. It says Diamond Select was Diamond Select around, and Here's the thing: Diamond Select 1984. That's got to mean something more because look at the detail of the boxes. That's not very 1984. And look at the interchangeable claws and the teeth and stuff. That's not very, and horns. That's not very 1984. The extra stuff.
All you do is you Google it, you look at it. It's legit. As far as I know,
there's the character I want Sydney Sweeney to play. Is that Black Cat?
No, that's not Black Cat. That's going to be.
Yeah, I know my Black Cat. Yeah.
Oh. They'll just screw it up and just show her.
Like, that's not Black Cat. That's Mike Tyson. You racist?
Yeah, check it out. You get
Who's that Black Cat? Oh, it's Mike Tyson.
No, it's
that cat's Mike Tyson.
No, I mean Rocky. Oh no, I mean you get the box with that one, with that terror dog. And by the way, they have other ones here too. So look, Apollo. You get Apollo here, dude.
Rip Apollo.
Yeah, with the red trunks, the cape, and the belt, dude.
Yeah, this is before he fights.
You can get the one with the stars and stripes.
He has the red, white, and blue. Yeah, he has the red, white, and blue.
So now you gotta buy both.
Drago.
You gotta buy both now, right?
You kind of have to. I'm hearing James Brown living in America in my head too.
Yeah. Oh my God, it was such a great scene, wasn't it?
Ow, feel good. Living in America.
And the reason why some of these sites you can tell they're kind of legit is when stuff is cheap and you know it, you can look at the prices and they know it and they're not trying to hose you. Like this Luke Skywalker, like it's $10. You know what I mean?
I try to look for like burned up meth pipes in the corner, old lighters in the background, signs the person is really a motivated seller.
Well, you can't keep these businesses going, especially like neat stuff collectibles, without being fairly on point with, especially with your comic book grading, because this is all action figures and cards, right? You'll barely see any comic books here, rarely. That's why I wanted to show this site too. I'm gonna see some
great stuff. Look at that Walking Dead thing.
Yeah, look at all the parts to it.
I've got a Negan. I wonder how much he's worth now.
Yeah, I'm not big on the Walking Dead, but
it ran its course, right? It was like there was for 4 years it was super special, and then like all of a sudden it was just like, oh, enough.
I am looking at this brown chest burster. I don't have that for my stuff. I have some of the
Red
huggers.
Queen face burster. Is that face huggers? Is that to say the Queen generates her own special face huggers that are different?
That's like a special, and I wouldn't get it. You'd have diehard collectors would get that just to have it.
Yeah, fuck that.
But this one next to it, the brown chest burster, it's almost like
that's the wrong chest burster. That's the that's the chest burster from Prometheus.
Yeah. So what you do is you keep, look at that power. Look at that He-Man there. And there's your Leonardo, but it's not quite the same as the other three.
There he is.
Like Buddy had mentioned.
Got gigantic freaking Arabian swords from another toy.
Let me read some of these chats. They say from Fanti, I was watching a stream a few days ago and someone suggested if Disney wanted to really make back on the Madu Grogu, they should call it. Yeah. And Buddy said
Mandalorian and Grogu Adventures.
Oh, that's the Star Wars ones. Yeah, he's talking about those Star Wars ones.
Mandaloriana. Help me pronounce that one.
Where at?
Above Buddy's comment, the second to last one. Mandaloriana. Landorina.
Grogu Adventures. Mandalorian, yeah. I don't know.
All I know is we left them basically at the end for characters. They're sitting on the porch together and their work was done. And little retard still couldn't fucking talk.
No.
I have that 1979 Boba Fett. I have that just feet away.
Look, you get little replacement parts for stuff you might need.
Use a gun for him. I could use a stormtrooper gun.
Diamond Select, Ghostbusters, that would go. There's Ray Stantz for 1984 with the pieces and the gun. 30. That's not bad. Here's some good Thundercat stuff. And more Ghostbusters. Ooh, Panthro complete with his nunchucks. 110, but that's classic, man.
Panthro, the Yoda of that pantheon.
Of Thundercats.
By the way, take a look at this. Can you see? Oh no, I gotta hold on. I'm working on it.
Ooh, an original Falcon from Infinite PlayStation 3. An old school suit. That's kind of cool for being an old school suit.
That is pretty cool.
Did you want me to show something?
No, I'm going to show something. It's my dick. No,
we'll go to Cosby.
Look
at this.
Here it is. It's the original Blob Fett.
Oh, let me go to your screen.
It big and me.
Oh, they can see it. Do you want me to?
Blob Fett.
Nice.
It's the original one too.
Man, I got to mute. Can you just show your stuff real quick while I mute? I'll be right back.
What do you mean by that? Okay.
Yeah. Just give me 1 minute, okay?
All right, kids. Here it is. Better look at Boba Fett. Boba Fett comes complete. He is ready to go. This is 1979 Boba Fett. He's an original. Isn't he a beauty? Now, this Boba Fett comes from a different time. I'd like to imagine that if this Boba Fett was to get into some sort of misadventure, he wouldn't be an asshole like the Boba Fett that we saw in the Boba Fett show. And you can see he's really well detailed and painted. And there you go. And I think there's something on his foot, right? I can't really read it, though. It says girl power. I guess I always knew it was coming. Just kidding, guys. But here he is. It's Boba Fett. It's the original Boba Fett. It's before he was a fucking loser. And I just wish there was a way to tighten up those legs again. Maybe some silicone glue. There we go. His own freestanding Boba Fett, guys. So let me see what we got here. Mandalorian and Grogu Adventures. The initials are the joke. They are MAGA. Oh, that's funny. Yeah, like they would change the name of the movie once someone pointed that out. Although that movie could get all the way to like theaters before they realized it, and we would have two sets of posters. It would be like Thunderbolts. I was really glad to see that Critical Drinker hated Thunderbolts. That was affirming to me.
Can you say that? You sounded really muted.
It was really affirming to me that Critical Drinker hated Thunderbolts because, it was really affirming because a lot of people were saying not only was I wrong about it being bad, but that it was actually a really good movie. And I'm like, hold on a minute. It's kind of like this is just weeks after Captain America. And just because this movie makes sense, I mean, does that movie ever insist on itself? Every 5 minutes they repeat, we're all this, we can do that, and we're all going here to do this. It's the only reason the movie makes sense.
Yeah, you kind of soured on it a little bit, right? You tried to like it, it just didn't work.
I went there willing to see if it was okay, right? But the thing is, in the opening sequence, which they say is about depression, I saw what I would call like typical Russian chick. She was like, I am Yelena, everyone sucks but me. You are bad man person, scientist man who makes this red matter thing that makes people into super soldiers. Hey man, what's going on, Candy Brain?
Original Boba Fett.
Pez. That is wow. I would not eat that Pez.
No. Nick Weiser dared me if I ever showed up somewhere. He said he'd eat them live on camera. And I'm like, oh, okay. And Chewbacca. They're not worth much, but they're still in the original package. I don't know how the hell I still have these.
I don't know. That's badass. There's some great Boba Fett's in here too. The carbonized Star Wars Black Series collection Boba Fett looks great.
Yeah,
the alien xenomorph egg. You know what? Like, if your HR guy has one of those on his desk, you're gonna get fired in like the worst way.
Oh yeah.
I always look at these things and I'm like, this is what a cool HR guy buys. You know, it's like you go into his office, it's like, so here's the company manual. And as you're distracted looking around the room, it's like he's got like a communicator and like John Elway's autograph or something like that. Or John Elway's autograph, I guess, is worth a lot less now. Yeah. Phantom Outsider says at Admiral Peak, I think that was the second issue of Boba Fett. Because the first version, yes, you are correct. It's the first commercially available one, because the one with the missile on the back that launches declared a hazard, that was only available by sending back cereal box tops.
Oh, nice.
Right. So only the most dedicated Star Wars fans got a chance to die from that Boba Fett.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, some people didn't want to send them back, and Lucas sent actual stormtroopers to their homes to repossess them. It was like the Chevy Volt.
Yeah. Well, speaking of stormtroopers, you can get two of them. You can even tell they're yellowed a little bit. 77 with a card.
There's a method to cleaning them, I think, with peroxide, right?
I don't know, but here's what I'm looking at. A couple of things right on this page. Just this one right here. I'm trying to square it up on the YouTube side.
The Optimus Prime stamp.
Yep.
Complete T stamp. Yeah. Michael
Myers. I wanted to do a show. Teague, are you aware when they say T stamps and stuff? I didn't. I was going to get up with Ironcaster on this, and maybe you, Mark, and stuff. But I wasn't aware of this until about last year. That the Transformers, I know they have all these different issues. They had a Pepsi one, I think a Mexico one, and they come out in different years, different companies, blah blah blah. But when you go to the original G1 84s, they stamped different ones with numbers, and they consider like 3 versions of those as all original ones, I guess, right? Did you know this?
And I didn't, but I think Phantom Outsider, yeah, maybe there are 2 promotions. I remember something to do with cereal boxes, but maybe that was a different figure. But maybe he's right. I think he's got this one right. Yeah, it was the proof of purchase from the other toys. You needed I think it was 5.
For the
toys were $2. The toys were like Yoda was $2, man. My dad was. I was like, Dad, can I have that? He's like, yeah, fuck, why not?
Oh man, my nose. I stopped my cam again. Sorry,
guys. It's fall in the Northeast and Mid-Atlantic. That's why up until last week, I was sneezing and coughing and muting all the time, and now it's Dave's turn.
No, it's just I don't. I guess it's not really more in my throat there. I slept with the AC on and didn't have a cover over, but I think
that'll do it. Also,
and I had a lot of teeth work done. I had a burning fever yesterday. If it would have been tonight, I wouldn't have even done this show. But I took 500. It worked.
When you live where we live, right in that area of this area of the country, when we go through spring, though, every couple of weeks, another tree comes into bloom and releases some other kind of pollen. So you can be fine one day, and the next day, like all the acacia trees or whatever it might be, come into bloom.
Yeah, well, I'm trying to test the chat here. I'm going to click on this one. Obviously, I have to go back and forth on it, right? If I do. Right. But I want to click on it and see if they show the stamp. And I know people probably in the chat know of this stuff. I kind of knew about it, but I didn't remember this stuff as a kid. I tell Mark on it. Geekery, and I destroyed all my Star Wars stuff.
Ben Riley was the now. Let me help you see if I get this right. Ben Riley is supposed to be Peter Parker 1, but that didn't work out, so they made him into a clone, and he melts or something shit like that, right? He was like the loner, the biker, the Bruce Banner type Spider-Man.
Don't know much about the Ben Riley one.
Ben Riley, I think it's the clone story. I think it's the clone storyline.
Yeah.
It was so unpopular that they made him into a clone. You got to roll out, DJ Play Nice. Thanks for hanging out with us.
Oh, dude, yes.
Oh, and thanks for the review. We appreciate that. Hit that like button on your way out, my man. We will be safe. Man. We will have fun. You take care, and we'll take care of our crew and rock in your name, my friend. Yes, it's from the clone story, says Phantom Outsider. Yeah, that one was weird. It's like his parents are back, and it's like they tried to like reboot him with a different origin story, and it was like, no, you've origin Spider-Man 9 or 10 times the same way with only very minor differences. Don't do this. Because I think the only real thing that's been changed was originally Uncle Ben was a cop.
Wow. Dude,
look at that. Yeah.
Yeah, so check this out, dude. It's a complete T stamp, right? He shows the figure. I mean, it's old. It's 84, right? But it's complete. Look, it has all the hose. Dang it. It has the hose and everything, or it gets the hose again. Right?
Now, if I actually say Optimus Prime's hose, someone's going to say I was making fun of their wife again.
No. We're not going there.
Calling someone a loser is not calling someone a bad husband is not insulting their wife, though. I just want to make that clear.
No.
No one but an idiot thinks that.
We're looking at stuff that you might buy.
I think I've soured on Optimus Prime because of my experience, but this is a pretty cool Optimus Prime.
This is a pretty cool one for the price, dude. In fact,
a lot of money.
I didn't sign it, so I might have to go
buy
back.
This one. I'm going to buy this one right now just so I can set it on fire and film it so that I can make someone sad.
Well, they didn't show the stamp. Okay, so on this part on the back of him, there's a stamp, right? And then on the trailer, I think there's a stamp on the trailer. And
is that maybe the stamp in the top of the
there's like a little circle. This one will have a little circle with T in it. Some will have a number. Huh?
I get what you're saying. I'm just thinking about how much fun it would be to have this, buy it, and like think about it. Like someone who's been bothering me who loves Optimus Prime. I could totally pull. What's the guy from Happy Gilmore? I could pull a Shooter McGavin. It's like, why do you even want to buy Optimus Prime? Why do you even want to own Optimus Prime? Own it? I don't want to own it.
Oh,
I want to buy it so I can set it on fire and piss on the ashes.
Here's really cool. Yeah, well,
this box is amazing.
Then you buy the retro issue knockoff versions for $20, and you buy 3.
No, I think if you want to flex for someone that like you have money and they don't, you buy this one. But I don't have the money to do this joke.
Look at this, dude. This made this one a little bit more valuable for me.
It's the boxes, so it's
no, that's a signed. So the parts list. See, this is how you know they're on the up and up. They tell you which ones aren't original, what parts aren't. That's why it's only $325. Teague. You see what I mean?
Yes.
But you know that
some of them are reproduced.
They didn't have to tell you that, did they? But to keep the business going,
did because I was going to say they're only as good as their reputation. What are they going to do?
There you go. When people who buy this know their stuff, it's going to come back to haunt them, and they're going to be. I
found out you cannot rug comic book fans and people who like these collectibles, and
no,
I think we all saw a very big demonstration of do not try to rug veterans who like comic books. Somebody is still reeling from that.
But for that price, the only thing that's not original is just these little parts. The blaster, that's kind of a problem. The roller, but you can find those if you really want to dig into it later. But you might be better off just spending the $600 and get it all, right? But that photo, it had a Beckett certificate of authenticity stamp on it. That's why I checked it. So that's actually been verified by Optimus Prime. Peter Cullen signed that. That right there will make up the difference if you haven't defined stuff. But you can find tons of Peter Cullen stuff, right? But that's really cool for the price. And it is certified.
He's not making a gorgeous amount of money signing these, but it's like he's a voice actor who gets to make money off the signature. He's like, $5, really? I mean, anything. You know what I mean?
You go,
and honestly, $5. I'll just like sign like 25 things an hour.
Yeah. So Phantom's telling a story about a crazy lady with a lot of disposable income. Found out a comic book con that her son to be cheated on her. But yeah, dude, you can't get over on nerds, dude. Not if they really, really know their stuff. You know what I mean?
I think my favorite crazy person who had more money than they realized was or who knew they knew they had a lot of money and their family didn't. There was this crazy fucking old lady. She had a decent amount of cash, but she lived in Texas or like Arizona where it never ever rained, right? And her favorite thing to do was just go driving around and buying stuff, right? But she bought weirdly specific stuff, and her family thought she was insane. So they bought in hoarders, and she had like 4 acres that were completely crammed, every inch of them. But when they started digging through the stuff, they didn't have to like do much. Just like they were all stunned. What she had done was she had amassed like $7 million worth of Tiffany lamps and old cars. Yeah, they're like, look, we gotta say, like, her buying this stuff and hoarding it, like, if she wasn't so wealthy, she would be insane. But because she was already worth a fortune, her hoarding habit, actually, we've tallied it up. She spent $700,000 over the course of 40 years, and she has like $17 million worth of assets now. And they're like, what? And like, yeah, she's not going to have to go to that old folks home. You can just build a mansion and have people move in. Yeah, like the lady who's like the shrink, she was like, I don't know how to approach this. Definitely, there's some sort of obsessive compulsion in here, but how am I going to tell her she's wrong? Look how much money she just made. It's like, it's good that you're just going home and giving up on this one. Not everybody has a problem.
Yeah.
Crazy old lady saw a $700 lamp and bought it for $15. She's no longer a crazy old lady. She's a savvy, crazy old lady.
She's a savvy, yeah. Just in the site, obviously everybody understands what's going on here now. Look at you can get an 84. You get the Atom.
Think about an acre of Tiffany lamps, though. Think about how much. I mean, one is worth like $800.
That's crazy, though, dude. That's
an
insane.
acre.
It's insanity.
They showed it all too. They were absolutely stunned. They just like her children thought she was insane. They didn't like really look at it, and they're just like, "Why would she buy this Studebaker?" And they're like, "That's restored. It works." And they're like, "What?"
Oh, Fanti said she destroyed all of them.
Oh, this is the crazy lady.
Yeah,
oh, she destroyed all the comics that the person her soon-to-be ex was holding out at her. If it makes
the first appearance of Wolverine ones, which were thousands each.
My ex-wife got my Han Solo and Tauntaun with weapon from Empire Strikes Back. She got that shit. Did I get back my 1972 Fender Telecaster? Yeah, they were priorities.
Yeah. Well, anyway, you kind of get the picture here, right?
With the Telecaster in my hand, though, it's like, goodbye, old friend.
Oh, wow.
I was like, I don't think she's going to hold on to you. I think she'll sell you and you'll be around somebody cooler. And he's like, never tell me the odds. I was like, it's been great knowing you, Han.
There's a McCoy with all his stuff. Diamond Select. It's only $35.
He's an original McCoy.
Yeah.
It's not Carl Urban.
No.
Not Carl Urban. It's the real McCoy.
And it's got phaser, tricorder, an extra hand. Or no, not tricorder.
I love how much Dr. McCoy was into just, for a doctor. He killed a lot of people. Dr. McCoy just like I think it was the Mugatu. It's like they're an endangered species on this planet. Bombs like just blows it away.
So here's what I was saying about the Transformers and not trying to get over on people. See this one right here, this Optimus Prime, and it's only $65 because he knows that it's a reissue, and they're gonna know that we're gonna know. So it's only $65. You get the whole set.
You can't deal in this world in bad faith for too long. People
Not
are too knowledgeable.
I mean, you can get away.
No, you can put out a comic book. June is coming. June is a couple of weeks away, and I'm not really going to get back into it when that happens. I'll just point out that it's come and gone again. I don't understand some people's motivations. It would seem to be that you can get that done. But at this point, you have your daughter draw it.
But so let's say you want to buy that original one for $600, right? But you don't want to mess with it too much. You buy one of these reissue ones and transform it into whatever figure, and then you have the other one sitting in the back. You know what I mean? And you can display the transformed one or the untransformed one, and you get one of them really, really cheap. You know what I mean?
You know what? I want the moment that turned me into a YouTuber enshrined as a collectible, and I'm wondering if it would be like, I think it would be, what do you call it? Benedict Cumberbatch saying, "My name is God." So just like Chris Pine standing there with that look on his face because he was the only person who did the research. It's like, we don't know who Khan is, right? Because the other two people are like, "Oh my God, it's Khan," and like Chris Pine just looks at him. He's like, "The fuck." So,
nice. Yeah, and then
I love that Stargate
regular
missile.
He-Man. So
what is that G1 missile vintage Transformer parts? Okay, it's just cool looking.
Yeah, so you can find the parts for, you know what I'm saying? You can get
the one. Captain Kirk's face has been melted. Oh, that's just Michael Myers. Sorry,
Michael Myers. Yeah, but you can complete your He-Man because you got Prince Adam, right, with Cringer, and then you get the He-Man and Battle Cat all in one shot here, right? And there you go.
Did you see? Anyway, what did you think of new live action Teela? Aside from the fact she was extremely gettable and in fact might have to like get me drunk, what did you think of her?
Oh well, back in the day, any kind of hot woman was hot when you're watching it. I remember when I was come home from school.
New live action Teela is like very plain.
It would be Transformers,
really plain,
and G.I. Joe when I used to watch stuff, and then
I would
Thundercats
come
on
home
the
and
side.
watch that as like a high school student. I would smoke pot through the whole thing, and I'd be like, "This is the craziest, weirdest show I ever fucking saw."
Now I have the Gorn here. I have the Gorn. And
look,
T-Walk
Kirk. What can we zoom in on that Kirk and see if he has the camel toe that R.M. Briggs complained about the T-Walk Khan having? Because I have T-Walk Khan as well.
Which one do you want? The Kirk double cross
T-Walk
or actual
Kirk.
Khan?
$55 Kirk there, right there. He's between Thanos and the corkscrew.
Yep, I gotta go back and share it. There we go.
Here we go. Oh, that is a beautiful Captain Kirk. That is beautiful Captain Kirk. He's really well depicted. I think that maybe it's because of this moment in the movie that I love this Captain Kirk so much, but that is a beautiful Captain Kirk double cross.
50 by $55.
Why is it called double cross? Is that the maker, or is that the moment in the movie when he kind of fucks over Khan?
I think it's the moment in the movie, right?
It might be the name of the act because I don't think he uses that term, but he does get double crossed by Khan, who fakes being a Federation ship with a Chambers coil overloading.
Yeah, and
just buy this now. I'll Venmo you the money.
Well, the card is broke. It's not if you want to. So these
right, let's negotiate. Fuck you. The card's not so great. We want $35, or you could go take a walk. You drunk?
No, you can make an offer. They have that option. You can make an offer.
$11. You gotta negotiate hard. Gotta negotiate hard.
You can go hard in the paint. You might get a technical on that one, but
what if he's only $11 away from that bag of crack he's selling this for? No, I mean, who knows? Yeah. But that was a great collection of great stuff. Man, now I want to buy stuff. She paid for all four and destroyed them right on the con floor. That's oh my god.
My screen. Yeah, so that's why it's enabling, and then look, you can get the con, and it's carded. So there's the original con. I'm hearted that one, as you can tell. I hearted that one, and which I think I might have mirror. I think I have the mirror Trek Kirk, and I think I wanted the TOS one because it was the Gorn. I have the Gorn, so I wanted the TOS one, but I think I had mirror because it came with something else. You know what I mean? But there's more Starscream. There's another Jetfire. You notice this one's $400 because it's in better condition.
Ticking through my mind, all the things you could do with those 4 destroyed comic books. You could like finish off like a really cool guitar, custom guitar body. Yeah. You could make some pretty cool art with it.
Yeah, and I got stuff like
it's
Sam
Spawn.
and Twitch. Spawn, Sam and Twitch, but it's the black and white version with the cigarettes and stuff. So it's a special edition. I don't want to take it out, right?
Does there ever get to be, aside from Captain Sam, Falcon Man, does there ever get to be a worse movie than Spawn for superheroes?
No, that movie's terrible. Leguizamo did pretty good as the clown, but overall, that's a horrible freaking movie.
The guy from Excalibur looks so lost in that movie. When Superman was a hero. This Superman did so much to destroy the movies and stuff that came after it, because the animated Superman, he was like the purest, realest Superman. It's just like, was it when he fought? Who was it that he fought? It's like, it'll be dawn when they attack. They'll like the drama of that.
I think it was Brainiac. He fought Brainiac, didn't he?
No, but like when he was talking about like what he was the Elite. It's like, they'll attack at dawn. They'll want the drama of that. And like, you can't go, you'll die. It's like, it's the right thing to do. Like that Superman has ruined it for like people like Zack Snyder who want to have a Superman who didn't care. People grew up on this Superman who was awesome and moral, and then we get this fucking. I liked Henry Cavill's acting, but that Superman sucked. That Godzilla was pretty cool, though.
My Godzilla.
Godzilla behind you is pretty badass.
Oh, dude, this is a layered 3D. See how it changes?
I saw it. I see it. I see it changing.
I have to do the angles because you see how the light comes in. But
yes, it's so cool.
If I do it like this, if you walk around the room, it follows you.
Oh, it's so cool.
Yeah,
this doesn't even do it. Is that the Hollow Earth one, or is that just like some artist? Oh, it's Godzilla -1, isn't it?
It's -1, dude. Yeah. So look at it from that angle.
That movie was so good. I went back and saw the black and white version a week later. I loved Godzilla -1. I was surprised how good that was.
I got that. I got that special version. What has the black and white? It has the original. It has a 4K, and I would give somebody the 4K one, but I can't break up the set. Right? I don't have a 4K.
It's amazing.
It came with it. I don't have, and then it has like an extra version of something else too. Yeah, lenticular buddy. Thank you.
I don't think there's any cuts or edits in the black and white that are different from the color one, but it's a different movie. It's kind of different.
Yeah, this thing is so cool because when you can see when you walk away from it, it's so layered. Like even down here, you don't even see this little battleship or this little ship down here.
When he destroyed that battleship in the movie, though, that was like this thing is going to be a fucking serious problem.
Yeah.
Everything in that movie was perfect. When Godzilla used his atomic blast breath, that like just blows up a whole city. It's like,
I had these.
Oh wow!
And somebody was like, "Open them, open them." I'm like, hell no! Unless I find another pack somewhere. I mean, they're not that collectible, but I'm not opening them unless I, go out and buy one. Buy another one, which I probably should do so I could open it, right? And then I always had this one as a kid. You can see it's all nasty.
Don't be J.J. Abrams. You've got to open the mystery box and find out what the hell's inside.
I showed this a long time ago, but look, it has an actual scene.
I remember that.
Yeah, it's beat up as hell, but I still had it as a kid. I don't know, just enabling. Some Deadpool stuff. Most people have seen my other Spawn stuff. But other than that, I've got some Lord of the Rings stuff as well. And everybody's seen my Godzilla stuff before. My other Superman with crypto. So that's about it, T. I mean, couldn't do the comic show tonight. So thought I'd just BS and show some stuff, right?
We didn't do so bad. But we were entertaining.
No, I think we did great. Dude, thanks for coming on.
I had a fun time.
Hanging out. Do you have anything else you want to show there?
What do I have is nearby?
Yeah, this Godzilla poster and that Superman ones are my favorite. I've got the whole
Yankee, Thurman Munson, Todd McFarlane figure.
McFarlane. Thurman Munson. Wow. Going back.
Yeah, so sometimes I keep them like, right here on my desk.
Yeah, I've got a little Cylon over there, a little Star Trek figure that Dadman gave me, and a couple other stuff. Laying around. You're a Spawn fan then, right?
Yeah, I do kind of like Spawn. Like I said, the movie really was a terrible whiff.
Oh, no. The movie was horrible. Muy horrible. No es bueno. Oof, but I've shown this a couple times, and it's one of my bigger projects that I might give Sean a challenge on because it is resin. Almost boomered that. My taskbar popped up when I went too far down on my laptop there. Start the cam. Buddy and them have seen parts of this one. I have some of it put together.
It's Kylo Ren's helmet.
Well, no, it's huge. It's
huge.
Comic cover.
Oh wow. God, yes. One had that problem.
Well, it doesn't fit. This is one of the reasons why I got It doesn't stay on. It's huge, dude.
You got to use some like silicone to keep that bad boy together.
Oh yeah. What I can't stand is these lines up here. So I'm wondering, I don't know how Sean might be able to meld those together, even if it looks bad, it doesn't have the full line through there. You know what I mean? So from a distance, you wouldn't be able to tell, right? But it's huge, and they're comic book cover type stuff. I'm gonna put this one together.
No, I mean that was like if the Spawn movie had anything, right? Like while the dumb narration was going, the okay music was playing. We got these pretty cool visualizations, and I guess they were stop motion Harryhausen style of like Spawn, but it was made from his toys. Like a lot of that movie, the part of that movie where the toy beats up the other toy, I was like, what the fuck am I watching?
Yeah, I'm not going to dig out the Viper, but you've seen the Viper. Hell, I'll go just grab that.
Which Viper is it?
The original MK1.
Okay. I got to say my favorite ones were the ones that they get from the Pegasus after they meet up with Commander Kane in the second BSG, the silvery ones. The ultra modern like 2.0 Vipers are so cool.
Yeah, I've got the original. It's 2 feet long, dude. Like 8 inches high. So this is like NECA. This is my original Predator from the movie.
That is cool. So
it's like I don't need another one. It's so cool and accurate. Like even in the eyes. But NECA has a problem, and I don't know whether their feet break off, right? So that one broke off. And let me put this so I don't break it more. Put it back here. Lay it down. So to prove my point, I got the Xenomorph, the regular morph, right? And stuff like that, you know. Both ankles broke off. I still have them, but it's the detail, right?
Look at that. Yeah, it's very, very much in
claws.
The spirit of the Iger design.
It's got the teeth.
That is great.
You've seen my queen. And I've got the chest burster scene where the girl, she's like, and it pops out. It comes out. And I put this over top of it. So, you know, but it's the detail in these that are really cool. Look at that.
That is fucking awesome.
Yeah. And these aren't that expensive anymore, although these have been around for years already. You know what I mean? The coloring and stuff like that. So
they just keep making more Predator toys because the Prey series of movies is out. Hey, look who's here. It's RRTNZ.
Hey,
the second stream I've seen him on today. Now you have honor by association. The last stream I saw RRTNZ on was hosted by a guy called Critical Drinker.
Ah, yes.
There were only
Who's that guy?
13. I don't know. He could only pull 13 people to his stream. It was so weird to be. It was so weird to be a critical.
With like 2 people the other day, right? I'm just joking.
Yeah, no, I saw it. No, he did. He was live streaming with like 3 people from out of nowhere, and he just does cool shit like that. And RRTNZ recommended me for open bar, so that was cool. I was a little shocked, but you know, it's a high recommendation. I accept the recommendation.
Yeah. So for all the Batman animated fans out there, I was showing Clobby, God rest his soul, back in the day, a couple of years ago already. Nick and them did a Christmas show, and we were talking about our famous animated ones. I did mine with Red Tornado. They did Christmas with the Joker and stuff. I did Justice League one. But this is a book. I didn't know it was just all art. So it's huge, right? I mean, it's bigger than the screen.
That first animated series had such great art.
Well, glad you said that. Thanks for the segue. Because it starts off like that, right? I don't even like touching it, to be honest with you. But you can get another one. I should look at the camera, make sure it's coming through. Forward, blah, blah, blah.
It really is art prawn. There they are. People came up with the idea.
Yeah. Oop. I guess I could do it like this, like that. You're like, oh, that doesn't look all that great. But what it does there, after you get through all this, we go Mask of the Phantasm, which is a very popular movie.
I've seen that movie.
Yes.
It's about a mask. It's fantastic.
Boom, look at that art, dude.
Ooh.
Yeah, so this book will go through phases and show you each one. And you get page, so different variants and stuff like that.
It's coming along.
I should do a video just on this book, to be honest.
Yeah, actually, it's
and just go through
substantial. All that art.
posters.
That there is the single most destructive, problematic, and horrible character in the history of Batman is Harley Quinn.
Well, because they crapped on it, man.
She's only good in the animated series. She's not created for anything else. There we go.
Man Bat. That was one of my favorite episodes. I love Man Bat, dude.
Is he turned into Wayne Bruce?
No, not quite. And oddly enough, I have the Batman Adventures. Mr. Freeze. I have the Batman Adventures comic run, and the Poison Ivy one, number 12, I think, it's a key issue, so it's expensive, right? But they do a Christmas special, I think. If anybody who knows the Batman Adventures run, that they did the comics after the animated show, and then the Mr. Freeze one-off. It's very popular. Some Joker, classic Joker, right? But where's the Christmas one? Poison Ivy. Just awesome art. If you like art. Clock King.
Do we have the Condiment King now? There we go.
Classic Two-Face, right?
We need the Condiment King. He has to be in here.
I don't think he's in here.
That's the greatest villain. The stand-up comedian who accidentally made a few jokes about the Joker.
Yeah, just a few. The Killer Croc.
Well, didn't he do he insult joked he didn't know the Joker was the person sitting in the club, right? You ripped on him a while. Oh no, he was a TV. He was like Johnny Carson. And he made some Joker jokes on his show.
Yeah, there's a Tiger one, which is a little bit unfamiliar with those characters, but you can see the art. I'm looking for the Christmas with the Joker, the Gray Ghost. Look at that art, though, dude. So cool, right?
And the pages are like high gloss vellum.
Oh, yeah, high gloss vellum. You don't really have to even worry about. There it is. Okay, it's coming up with the Moon of the Wolf.
Oh,
and then this one. This is the one collaborating on them, like Christmas with the Joker.
Oh man. Now it's like we have to take a moment out to say, ladies and gentlemen, we're sorry that we reminded you of Mark Hamill, but look at this great art. He's not here now. He can't hurt you anymore.
Yeah. He's a douche. Who cares?
Biggest disappointment in my life was to realize that he had a lower maturity level than me. It's like, at what point did I? Yeah, it's like, at what point did I pass Mark Hamill? Was I always ahead of him when I saw Star Wars at 7? Oh, hey, RTNZ says you guys are NFL fans. I am. I saw a still for the Madden movie starring Nick Cage. I saw that alongside Good for You, Christian Bale. What a combination. I saw he looked just like Madden. Oh, that's cool.
Clayface,
right?
Clayface is a very popular character as well, right?
I sometimes become hungry for sweet potatoes after I see Clayface for too long, but yes.
I forgot about this one. This is a pretty good band.
That is a good band. Citizens of
They even have Bullock. They even have Bullock in there.
I want to
get some classic Batmans like this one.
That was one of the best episodes of Batman the Animated Series. Is when Bullock's landlord goes insane and tries to blow up the entire building because Bullock is such a terrible tenant. It's like he actually created the crime.
He actually created the crime. Yeah.
Bullock created the crime because he was such a hard to live with, such a hard to deal with tenant that and he scared off all the other people who lived in the building because he was.
You still there? You're muted.
Oh, I muted. Okay.
Yeah, there you go.
Still here.
You're back. You're back.
Yeah, no, he had to get rid of the whole building and blow it up because he was such an asshole. And he was so filthy. The landlord went insane. It's like that guy ends up in Arkham Asylum just because he rented the Bullock. I'm like, okay, I kind of like that. It's funny. Hell, Dave, the Superman trailer filled with dread.
Let me
Yeah,
be
I
very
don't know what the
clear.
hell is going on. They said, by the way, they were defiant about that trailer. They said people didn't notice that now when he gets hit with the coffee cup, he doesn't wince.
Well, I don't understand why you keep putting more trailers out. I'm going to be honest with you, man. I wouldn't have done another trailer. You're either going to go see it now or you're not. You just
the second one was horrible.
I
the
would
first
not
5
be
minutes of the
putting
movie
any more trailers out.
Hey, who's that guy? He's handsome. Hey.
You know, it used to be, how do I say this right? I used to be able to, I would never watch trailers in movies back in the day because I knew the movies were going to be pretty good. You know, growing up in the 80s, we could do hours and hours and hours of streams year by year. Some people do that on
not
YouTube.
To wreck the movie like they do now.
86, 87, 88, 89. And you're talking about how many movies in just those 4 years, right? Then I can go to 82, 83, and holy crap. Then you're talking Star Wars just before that, right? Star Wars. So, but I would never watch trailers, and I would go see almost all of those movies, right? Now it's like, man, I better at least watch a minute or two of the trailer because now I don't want to go see the movie. It's a complete reversal. And why they do it, RRTNZ, man, at this point, I don't know. I mean, we all know. I mean, there's so many YouTubers we talk about. Like, what was the last one you did?
Hold on a second. This is for RRTNZ. This one's for RRTNZ. Captain Sam Falcon Man. Hold on a second. This one's for RRTNZ. Yes, hello. I'd like a pie. Extra cheese.
Oh, you
yes, I will be paying cash for that. Apartment 3C.
Excuse me.
I will be claiming the law enforcement discount. I have the entire police force locked in the sewer. Have them here in half an hour. There you go. How do you like that?
Excuse me, Teak. I ate Taco Bell last night. I'll be back in a minute.
82 is the king of movie years. Somebody put up like which one of these 1982 movies would you keep? It was also the king of album years. It was like which one of these 1982 albums would you keep? And like one of them was like Pyromania. One of them was Black Sabbath's Heaven and Hell. I was like, Jesus Christ, they're all great.
Well, we all know. I mean, it's all agenda-based driven. For me now, it's music used to be a mainstay in movies. When you watch the opening credits to Alien, and not just Aliens, I'm talking about Alien. That theme, I actually did a project on it in college for one of my music classes.
He did Star Trek soundtracks too. He did Wrath of Khan, the alien guy.
Yeah, well, that was not Williams, but that was Jerry Goldsmith. And people,
there's Wrath of Jerry Goldsmith doesn't do Wrath of Khan.
No, not Wrath of Khan, but he did Alien. Oh, yeah.
Did he do the first Alien?
I'm pretty sure it was Alien. Yeah, I'm pretty sure it was Goldsmith did Alien. I'm gonna look it up because I thought I did a project. I did a project that in back
college is a long time ago for both of us.
Well, his list is amazing, right?
There's some things I tried in college I wouldn't try again.
Yeah, Alien main title. And
okay, yeah. So you wrote that. Jerry Goldsmith is a great scorer of films. I think the thing is, the guy who had the most Jerry Goldsmith like style was the guy who does the Wrath of Khan soundtrack. He died a few years ago. I'm trying to remember his fucking name. I'm blanking on it. He wrote the soundtrack for James Horner.
James Horner, okay.
James Horner did a lot of soundtracks for Cameron too. So.
Oh, JT's internet's on, guys. We're gonna do a comic book now. We'll be up till 2 a.m. He's got to.
Is JT coming to say hello, or is he just?
I don't know. He's probably gonna go.
My internet's up. Good night.
It's like 11 o'clock already. He's probably pissed.
Well, I mean, we got through most of the plot of Full Metal Jacket in just 5 minutes and covered the entire origin of the Joker.
Yeah, we could. I mean, it's an easy comic to go through. It's definitely way different than what we've been what we've been doing. It's totally tailor-made for
stuff we want to buy.
Kids and young teenagers. You know what I mean? And
Buddy Hepburn confirms. Hey, what's going on, JT?
Hello. Hello. Wave at him. Can you wave at him?
Turn on your rote DAC. We cannot hear you yet, JT.
All right. Can you hear me?
There we go.
Yes. Right. Now you have the smooth and creamy voice of a DJ.
Great. I just beamed in, and yes, Admiral, sir, pissed off was an accurate way to describe my temperament for most of this evening.
Yeah, I can imagine, man, especially YouTubers. It happened that I was lucky. I don't know if it was a show I did, the movie night. Yeah, the movie night. Thursday nights, Thursday. And like an hour after I did it, boom, my internet went out.
You have to say it the Irish way.
It's a Thursday. It's a Thursday.
Yeah. Thursday.
The third in a month.
Well, I had an issue earlier today where I was so angry that when I went to piss, like steamed urine just shot out and like melted the toilet seat. It was that bad. I was like, "Whoa!" It's like,
well, that's because you need to lay off the hooves.
No, what happened was I turned on a major YouTubing show and saw a different Star Trek expert on there than myself, and competitive nature kicked in. And I was like, why the hell is there any other Star Trek expert but me? And I started breaking stuff for a little while. You know,
I have a quiz. For everybody. Oh, and Buddy talking about Goldsmith. I know he likes Goldsmith. Who doesn't like Goldsmith? You can be a Williams fan, but you gotta love Goldsmith. We're talking RNZ. JT was talking about
awesome.
Why did they do this to these movies? And I'm gonna tell you the things that I don't want to go see these movies. One is music. They do these covers, which are great years ago when they started doing it, right? Oh my God.
Now they go with the lowest payment.
Check the box. Got to do a cover. And it's got to be all.
So here's the thing. Here's the thing, right?
That's not.
And my family.
I know what's going on with that.
Yeah. My family is well involved in music, performance, music education, all this type of stuff. It's not that there is not a John Williams or a Goldsmith or a Horner waiting in the wings. They definitely have those, right? I've played pieces in an orchestral setting that are the doctoral, if a doctoral thesis, but in music, where I'm playing an alternate soundtrack for Jurassic Park, and it sounds bulletproof. Okay. The problem is, they treat the music just like they treat music and everything else.
It's a crutch now.
It's a crutch, and lowest common denominator. How would McDonald's serve music to people? And that's what they go for. They think that this film needs to be a Big Mac, and music is a part of that Big Mac. So we're going to make it the Mickey D's special sauce on top of that, instead of saying, okay, we're going to make the Red October, and then we're going to hire a competent composer who will add to this film. They don't see it that way. They want to do the ha 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 LOL Guardians of the Galaxy soundtrack because they think that if people say, "Oh, song I remember from 30 years ago on the radio," is going to get people with butts and seats. And I would dare say that Guardians of the Galaxy would have been a better movie with an actual soundtrack. Not the one that was written.
They pulled it off. They pulled it off really well. They picked good songs and it fit, but then it got abused. After you're absolutely right. After Guardians of the Galaxy, it got abused. Can you imagine that we're going to Goldsmith and the original Alien. I love that music in the opening scene where the A fades in and the L, right?
Oh, look, I mean, there's a reason you couldn't sell a real album from a movie after like Pearl Harbor.
Yeah, and then they go on in Nostromo and it's just nobody's there. Yeah,
just panning through the Nostromo. Music just barely cuts it. It's like you hear the Avengers music and it's so generic that you're like, all I'm thinking of is the special on 7-Eleven hot dogs that they advertised while they played this music and the popcorn bucket that I could get.
And they
see music as a cost center. They see music as a cost center, not as an artistic form.
Here's the thing:
you see it as a cost center. How can I get this sound cheaper. They
You're
see it as a commodity,
you're getting
not as
to where I
art.
was going to say. Yes.
Go
Here's the
for it.
deal. Here's the deal. Wakanda Forever did this the worst way, and I'm going to speak for like 2 minutes on this one, and you'll get what I'm saying rather than trying to. I'll answer questions after. But here's the deal. If I buy a song from an artist and I recreate it exactly the same way, it now like costs a certain amount of money. If I use the artist version of it, it costs even more. The farther my version is away from the original version, the less money I have to pay. So Wakanda Forever, if you remember, I think it was and now what this has to do with Africa, I have no fucking idea. But they played it was just a monotone bass tone. It was one note on like a synthesizer playing like the ethereal like B flat. Jason knows exactly what I mean.
Sure.
It's like,
oh yeah,
little birds on my doorstep, and it's like this disinterested female voice who couldn't care less. And the thing is like, you've member buried the song. To them, that's as good enough as invoking it, and it's 10% what it costs. And we get a lot of that. There's like, do they do it again with Smells Like Teen Spirit and another Disney Marvel movie where it's like, here we are now. And it's like the guy who sang this song was on heroin, and he was more enthusiastic about like the smell of Teen Spirit than this chick.
And it's a canary in the coal mine for how cowardly the folks in Hollywood are, because they don't want to make a new idea for a movie, but they can't sell one in the cinema like that. But
and they won't pay for the real version of Smells Like Teen Spirit.
Right. So the more cowardly you can go, you go more cowardly with the music. And being a musician, this really pisses me off. Teague, I know you're a musician too.
Is the worst with that, right? Strange New World, just almost no music at all. There's almost none.
That's not a bad thing, is it? It's just a bad show, right?
The thing is, like,
that's my point.
Took an episode of regular Star Trek and stripped out the music of good Star Trek, it would be weird. It would be pretty good, but we'd be like,
I got a scenario.
Some of that.
It'd be almost Rachel Zegler weird. But Dave, go ahead.
Yeah,
listen to this idea. Okay, now you take what they do with the cover songs and stuff right now, right? Can you imagine Alien coming out now, the original Alien? Of course, it wouldn't be that good. Anyway, beside that, just talking music only, because
kill a man first, still though.
Kurt Russell, I think it was Tarantino, was talking about one of the chase scenes in that where Kurt was playing the evil serial killer in the car. Help me out with the title.
Terror
that one.
Wait,
he mentioned
Planet Terror. Planet Terror.
The other one.
Stuntman Mike.
Stuntman Mike.
Planet Terror, and
they did a whole scene there with no music, and Tarantino says, "I didn't want it. The action's good enough," and it reminded me.
He was imitating the movie Bullet. He was imitating a Steve McQueen movie where you just hear the sound of the car, right? It's when he beats Rose McGowan to shit in the car, right?
Well, it's right before they actually. Well, spoiler alert, everybody. Spoiler alert.
Beat up Rose
if you haven't
McGowan.
seen it, I'm going to tell you, it's right before they do what they do to him. That scene. It's farther on.
Oh, okay,
no music, right? Well, one of those scenes. Don't quote me, but now think of this.
Car or Death Proof?
Listen to this scenario.
Death Proof. That's the second one.
Death Proof.
Death Proof. Okay.
Now imagine this: the original Alien movie chestburster scene, and they play Led Zeppelin. Been a long time since I rock and roll.
I want when the levee breaks.
I would actually
when the levee breaks.
No,
I want to hear Poison. It hadn't been written yet, but I want Poison. Every rose has its thorn.
Oh.
Or better yet, like how about like Unskinny Bob
has its own.
Or when the aliens tearing into Parker and you hear, "I see skies of blue, red roses too," and he's like, "Rah!"
And then now you're talking about the Joey Ramone version.
That'd be kind of funny.
Now you're talking about like Spaceballs level. Mel Brooks.
Grindhouse. That was the name of the whole project.
That song. It's a parody, or it's a oxymoron to the action scene. The Parker's getting ripped apart. It's only 5 seconds, right?
Yeah,
but they're playing that, and it trails off. Is that not? Did I just not direct that scene with music in it?
You pretty much did. It reminds me of Star
How
Trek
hard is that to
Nemesis.
do?
It reminds me of Star Trek Nemesis, where they kill Lieutenant Commander Data for no fucking reason, and
You know what I
then
would
they
do to
play
improve that one?
Blue Sky.
Yeah, that was fucking
Kurtzman.
Kurtzilla made that call. How about this? When we kill Data in Star Trek Nemesis, because the movie sucks anyway, we go with the very worst song of the entire 90s, but we do a full choral version, really slow, and it's just like Big Black Nemesis, Parthenogenesis. Remember that fucking shriek back? We would do that like really slow and choral.
No.
Nemesis by
The
back.
death of Data in the closing scene. I want to play. I want to be an American idiot. Ding, 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 ding. Well, I mean, you might as well, right? I mean, that's how cringe.
With Utrecht in mind, how about an American Girl?
Oh no.
Oh, here's a good one. RRTZ. Look at this comment here. How True Romance used music, and it was great. True Romance. Wow, what a movie, right?
Yeah,
that's pretty good. It's a pretty good movie. But you think of the music now, and it doesn't bother you, right? I don't.
Well, but Dave, to come full circle on this, what I was saying earlier was there's no shortage of musical playwrights that can write, because they still write for Broadway over there by Admirals Street.
What is it? Manuel Lynn Miranda, or whatever his name, wrote Jefferson or whatever, Hamilton. Camelto.
I prefer to call it Van Buren, but that's too
old
deep
Kinderhook. Old Kinderhook. But yeah, James Buchanan, the play by Lin-Manuel Miranda. Like, that guy was said to be talented, and I did enjoy Hamilton. Some of it's fun, but especially when the King sings. But like, then when I heard his Scuttlebutt song, I'm like, Disney can suck the talent out of anybody.
Well, and the problem is
out of anybody.
The problem is the American education system, and I guess education systems around the world are pretty much the same level, is that music education is at such a low level that your ability to basically weaken the soup with water is just there. And so you can reference,
don't learn how to act in concert without stage band. You just don't learn that. Like, unless you're a jock. Music is like totally important for teamwork.
Well, you brought this up. Sorry, go ahead. You brought up, because it's a Star Trek reference to Beastie Boys on the motorcycle thing last week, right?
Yeah.
And I remember distinctly watching that scene, thinking more about the Beastie Boys and how cool it was when I bought that damn tape, License to Ill, on tape.
And what the hell does that have to do with the movie, Dave?
And I remember thinking, I like this song better than I like this movie. And if it wasn't for Anton Yeltsin, I wouldn't give 2 Fs. And when they played it, I was like, what a waste. I mean, I get it. I get what they're trying to do, but it's a crutch.
But
that was again the hand
someone could have written for $10,000. Somebody could have written an actual orchestral piece that was 5 minutes long. I mean, it wasn't like it had to have been an entire 60-minute symphony.
The music for that is the one thing that was good. I mean, you swap that for the Avenger music. It's so much better. The Star Trek music is so much better than the Avengers music.
The other thing they didn't do in Star Trek Beyond, Teague and Dave, they had an NX starship.
Phantom Outsiders calling them Guardians now too. It's catching on.
It's catching on.
Metastasizing.
You know, Dave.
Alexander
what I would have
accepted. Eliminate the Guardians.
Yes.
What I would have accepted in Star Trek Beyond, musically, that would have been cliche and shallow, was to have Captain Archer's theme referenced for 2 or 3 bars. And Teague and I probably would have had to have had our pack of mobile Kleenex to clean things up.
Yeah,
we had heard that in there, and they wasted that opportunity, and they didn't do it. Why I'm calling it
RRTZ's point is they don't want to. They don't want to do anything cool like that. Either they're just oblivious.
The bad robot people steal money.
Or it's on purpose.
I'm making an accusation right now. I say that I believe in my heart that the bad robot people and the secret hideout people steal money. Well, it doesn't show up on screen. It doesn't show up on screen.
Not only that, they're musically delayed. I'm trying to be nice and YouTube about it. They're musically delayed with an R.
Don't make me lose my monetization.
Okay. Yeah. Yes.
Okay. So they're musically
retarded.
I
searched this one out. You're allowed to say
musically retarded. I'll just say that right now.
You can say retard.
Nothing.
You can't. I don't think you can call someone on stream a retard, but you can refer to people.
Yeah. Well, I just did it. I just did it. So sorry.
I think you can say something is retarded, and you can call a move retarded.
Yeah, and it's not to say that the music isn't good, because it's like, oh man, that's kind of cool. I like it. They just abuse it. Like, what was the one song with the girl? She just did a cover song for the trailer or the opening. Was it Thunderbolts? Teague? Was it what's the one that, or is it Superman?
Thunderbolts. Thunderbolts.
What's the one that the opening music?
The Scottish
Thunderbolts.
Accent.
Is
I did spend the afternoon with Bill Jordan.
It's a girl, and she spaces it out, you know, and she draws.
She's a whore. That's why.
Yeah. Oh, that's what I meant. Who's my Aqua Teen Hunger Force fans here? Who's the character? Goes, she's from Jersey, right?
It's
I'm gonna
Frank.
Go to the strip joint, get it.
Frank.
Carl. Carl.
Yeah, no,
because one of the funniest characters ever made.
Carl looks exactly like Frank Pentangeli from Godfather 2. He's supposed to be Frank Pentangeli.
You know who we're talking about?
No.
I'm gonna.
Aqua Teen Hunger Force is like a sick addiction. Like you've gone.
I know. I had some stoner roommates in college, and they were addicted to it and never paid rent. So I kind of resented that show by proxy.
The show didn't make them stop paying their rent. They were never going to pay them. They would have stared at the wall.
I know.
They were stoned.
It's a bad picture. Hold on.
They were also dudes. I love them today because they're lawyers and responsible people. But they would order. They would order from a place called Gumby's Pizza with Gumby the stretch arm guy, on the box.
That's great.
They would order from Gumby's Pizza, which is great, right? But the thing was, you could go out on our balcony and see Gumby's Pizza across the street. Now, who the fuck orders delivery across the street? Dave, I'm just asking. Okay,
I'm Gumby.
I had a point to this story. Who the hell orders delivery across the street? Like that's especially kind of lazy.
Jared from Subway, when he lived above the Subway, he probably ordered it brought up to him because he was 400 pounds when he started eating it.
Well,
there
you go. There you go.
He looks exactly like Pentangeli from Godfather 2. That's basically who he's modeled on.
JT, what? Yeah, right across the street.
Yeah, no, it was even the delivery guy one time.
That's it. JT's right. Nothing's going to stop us now from the Starship is in the trailer. Yeah. We got through the whole fucking movie without nothing's going to stop us from Starship, and I was like, oh.
That's what it is. Which trailer? I missed it. Sorry. What movie? Superman?
Thunderbolts first trailer.
It is the Thunderbolts.
Was Nothing's Gonna Stop Us Now. And here's
from Queen. That's why it pissed me off. Now I remember now, Queen. Right?
No, it's not. No, it's not that one. It's Starship.
Starship. Sorry.
We can build this dream together.
Oh my God, that's right. Oh my God, stop. It's giving me not chills because it's good, chills because it's horrible.
You know what? What's weird about this one is there are there's only one album by the Starship. They're the deadbeat descendant of a band that became another band and then broke up into the Starship. It's just the two singers from Jefferson Airplane. Go ahead.
Nothing's Gonna Stop Us Now makes me think of like permed hair and shoulder pads.
I should have wore my flash shirt tonight.
Yes.
Permed hair and shoulder pads is Nothing's Gonna Stop Us Now.
The next song up would be Once Upon a Time by the Moody Blues after Starship. Nothing Gonna Stop Us Now. But it was such a bad song.
Yes.
On the Starship album, I think they had the two very worst songs of 1989 at the same time. It was Nothing Gonna Stop Us Now and We Built This City. And what's really fucked up.
Rock and Roll?
On Rock and Roll, yeah.
How is that a bad tune?
It was voted the worst song of the 80s.
But how? It's a good song.
It's because it's a Daredevil.
I mean, I've always liked We Built This City.
Oh my God, that was
We
voted the
built
worst
this city
That's the
on
worst song of all
rock
time.
and roll. Built this city.
Well, you know what, like it or hate it. Here's the thing. It is kind of
you guys
saccharine.
just didn't like it because you were trying to get laid, and then this song came on, and she ran away from you to dance with her friends.
Throwing up. Yeah.
I mean that's why you guys really don't like it. Don't play.
The reason that song is a warning for anybody who, before you get married, look at a picture of her when she sings White Rabbit, and then look at a picture of Grace Slick when she's singing Nothing's Gonna Stop Us Now. Oh my God.
There is Dave C in real life.
That's at a band called Almost Queen. And they
how are they out by you? I know Almost Queen. They're from Long Island.
I know Joe Russo. Not the movie people.
Wait, no,
Joe and Tony Russo, his brother.
They used to practice at Phase One Studios on Long Island.
They play up in New York all the time. I've been to New York
They're from Long Island.
Yeah.
They're from fucking Hicksville.
I've seen them at least 30 times.
No, that's the name of the town.
Yeah. So this is I started, and I'm going to take full effing credit for this. I started. That's not even the real Flash one. That's the old one. I did found one with the little tilde on it. Right. I have that. I rarely wear that one. And I started wearing it to this show, and before the movie came out, years before the movie. This is my buddy right here.
Yeah.
I won't say names, but yeah, it's Craig and all my friends back here up in Virginia, and they would come down to the State Theater. And when they first started coming around, tickets were only like $15. And this guy here goes, "That's the best $15 I ever fucking spent in my entire life."
And on Queen.
And then a couple years later, this place would be sold out, and tickets went up to like 30. And then after the movie came out, we actually stopped going because
the Queen movie.
It was so packed that it was just started to get into like you couldn't enjoy yourself. I was going to go back last month and didn't go. I've seen them 30 times at least, man.
I came across Almost Queen in 2007. I used to smoke pot with them outside Phase One Studios when both my band and theirs was on break. It's in it's on Long Island in Huntington, and they're like all from Long Island, and they were nice guys. And I remember like one time, like during a break, I walked out of like the rehearsal space that my band was using to buy like a soda or piss or whatever I was doing.
Right.
And I heard Almost Queen, and they froze me. I was like, they were doing
unbelievable.
They sound like Freddie.
Dude, they were doing Princess of the Universe, and it was like whoa. It's like perfect. They were perfect.
Yeah. And RRTNZ is a massive Queen fan, as he
let me tell you something.
The lyrics to Flash.
Yes, they do. They started playing the Flash song for me because I would go up front toward the stage. That place had a big stage area. I was the only one. I was the only one wearing that shirt for like 3 years because sometimes they didn't even show up for like a year, and I had to come to New York to see them. Here's the craziest part.
Next time you come to New York, call me.
Yeah, dude. They play all the time. Now, that's Joe, right? Or is it Tony? So there was a U2 cover band called 2U. There's a few other ones out there, but 2U.
Holy shit! The guy from 2U was married to my ex-girlfriend for like 20 fucking years.
I know them. I know them very well, dude.
Wait,
I know them very well.
Wait, hold on. You know Mike?
Well, guess what? Guess what I found out? I've been going to see these guys.
Wait, hold on.
I know these guys for years.
Bang the drummer's wife. I'm being serious here.
Well, that's
what the fuck? I walked into Disneyland, stoned out of my mind, downtown Disney, and I'm like, wow, that U2 cover band sounds good. And I see my ex-girlfriend, and I'm like, wow. It's like, I guess that freaking cover band went pretty far.
They don't have the. Here we go. Here's the slideshow.
She was so fed up with dating someone who was in a bed. She was like, yeah, it worked out real fucking great. I'm the only one with a real job. It's like, nice to see you too.
Yeah.
Tina, how you been, babe?
All right, now, Freddie. Now, Teague, I'm going to test you. See, I'm going to tell you how well I know these guys, and I'm wondering if you know this yourself.
I've had sex with all of them.
Well, you see Freddie here, right?
Yes.
His name is Joe Russo. I switched pictures, but you can't. I'm not going to mess with it because he's got the
John Capitona. John Capitona's from my hometown. I know John Capitona. No, I know John Capitona. When you next
Where's
time
him in the damn Flash shirt? See, now all the pictures of him from the movie, you see that, right?
Yeah.
You used to have a ton of them in the Flash shirt. So I started wearing it. I was the only one doing it for like 2 or 3 years. And then when the movie came out, he would start playing. Well, before the movie came out, he would start doing the aha, and they'd point at me, and I used to go up and talk to Capitone all the time. So after seeing me so many times, they started talking to me. And Facebook, I'd be in touch with Randy and Steve for a lot, especially Randy, a lot. He wasn't the original guy. When I was up in New York, they had a different guy. That's how long ago it was. But now I'm going to test Teague's knowledge.
They've been around for 17 years.
Oh, I think it's a lot longer. I thought it was like almost 20.
They're like, well, 17 years is almost 20.
Yeah. So this guy here, Joe Russo. Remember this picture because I can't do 2 screenshots at the same time, right? That's Joe Russo. So
I have an authentic memory. You can't get that past me.
These guys. No, because it pulls up U2. I got to go find.
This unit is the ultimate achievement in computing.
Yeah, they got to mess with me. U2. There we
go.
Is
his brother Christopher Russo because they're both from Long Island? Is that what it is?
Yeah.
Is it?
Brothers.
It is?
And
Christopher Russo from MLB and from WFAN.
Yeah.
Well, they've been around for 20, I think. And
wait, that is Christopher
Russo's
brother.
Just to read in on the chat is into this discussion, by the way. Buddy says,
awesome.
The drum intro for the hero was amazing. Roger was on fire. And RTNZ says, wow, just saying, you don't get this on open bar. This is why I come here. Well, thank you, RTNZ. Awesome. I love it, dude.
RTNZ made a recommendation that Admiral Teague be on open bar, so I appreciated that. Could you feel me blushing? But you know what? The thing about Roger that I admire the most is that he dated Deborah Harry.
Well,
in like 1981. That must have been fun.
They are
that guy. The drummer wasn't gay.
Yeah. Well, that's Joe.
What are you talking about? They're both white.
That's Joe Russo.
Oh, you mean they're siblings? I'm sorry.
Oh, you're good. I'm just trying to
when you said they were brothers, I was like, wait. Okay, no, I think they have a new drummer now. They changed. They've changed singers. Yeah, these guys have been doing this for like 30 fucking years.
Yeah. And I didn't know it. I used to come up to New York, right up into Manhattan, couple blocks away from the Empire State. I can't remember the band. I mean the place
venue. Yeah,
venue, because they would play together sometimes, right? And then I wanted to go see them solo because you get 2 hours of the all Queen or all U2, right? But the first time I saw them were together, and then 10 years later, 5 years later, I never knew they were even brothers until I started getting to know them, and I started talking to Joe and Capitona. I can't even say his name. The drummer,
John Capitona, from Belmont.
And Steve and those guys. And then I started talking to Tony, and I was like, yeah, man, I used to come and see you guys when this U2 band was playing. He started laughing, and he's looking at me all weird. And I was like,
John Capitona on Facebook.
And he's like, that's my brother. I was like, what the fuck are you talking about? He goes, Tony, the U2 guys? He goes, that's my brother. And I met this is how cool these guys are. I met this band up in Maryland, because I wanted to go see a U2 cover band. I went to go see one. They were horrible. So I said, I was really on a mission now. I went to go see these guys. I had to get a hotel. It was like 2 hours away. I said, fuck it. I'm going to go do it. I had a date with me. Imagine that, right? A girl. And we went up there, and we were standing at the bar, and she taps me on the shoulder. I said, yeah, what's up? And she goes, this guy standing next to me, he's in this leather jacket. And she goes, that's got to be the lead singer, right? Because we're talking almost 12, 13 years ago, maybe more, right? Early Virginia days, almost 15 years. And he's standing there. I looked right at him. I said, fuck, that looks just like Bono. And I said, hey, man, are you just seeing the show, or are you the lead singer? He said, I'm the lead singer. What's your name? And
nice.
Dave, and this is my date. And he's like, oh, I said, we drove all the way from Alexandria, like 2 hours. He's like, for real? And can you play a couple songs? And he's like, Two Hearts or something like that. And there, I can't even remember. He played a song. Right,
Two Hearts is a forgotten U2 song.
Yeah,
That's a
and,
forgotten one.
Walk away. I will find you. You know, I will
That's
follow.
I will follow.
Follow.
That's the other forgotten. You now
So I
what's
said,
the third forgotten one is Gloria.
Gloria, New Year's Day, Electric Company, all
They
the
still
war.
do use day.
And so I said, well, you play I Will Follow. He goes, no problem. I said, are you fucking serious? He goes, yeah. He started the whole set. He started the whole night, and they invited us backstage. We had Coronas and hung out with them. And that's how I haven't seen him in like 10 years. They wouldn't come far south. They came down one time, and there was a horrible storm the night before. He goes, we usually don't come that far south, but Queen will. Almost Queen will. Yeah, and it turns out you know these guys.
Why won't they come that far south?
They just he said they don't feel like the U2 is a good venue.
No is a stretch for anyone.
And I said, buddy, you don't know the Irish and Scottish down here in Virginia. You come down, you come down and do like your brother did, and we'll fill up that place for you.
Are that's asking about Silver and Gold? They play that.
I can't remember.
Silver and Gold. You mean All I Want Is You?
They've played tons of stuff, right? And then they came up to play at that venue up there in New York again. And I said, I hadn't seen them a while. It was on a Wednesday. I was like, nah.
Where was it? Long Island? Was it in Huntington?
No, right up in Manhattan.
Oh,
up in Manhattan. And I said to myself, nah, it's a Wednesday. I'll catch them on the weekend. There's a video on their website. And then what I didn't know was U2 was playing in town. Guess what happened? When I didn't go see them. The Edge
saw U2 instead?
No, The Edge and Clayton and Mullen showed up.
You hooked up with the man you thought was a woman?
No.
We're testing random things here.
So the U2 guys came to the show. Did they play or did they just hang out?
Played two or three songs. I saw it on video later. And my buddies were laughing at me. They're like, were you going to go? Weren't you going to go to that show? And I was like, yeah, that's the one I asked if you guys wanted to go to. We didn't go.
I've had my friend call me one day out of nowhere, right? Like at lunchtime or something. He's like, yeah, I had to tell someone this. It's like, what? It's like the weirdest fucking thing just happened. It's like, what? It's like, I just took an elevator ride with The Edge. It's like, huh? It's like, yeah, like I looked next to me and I just realized the guy was the fucking Edge. He got off on the floor where EMI is. So I was like, yeah, that was the Edge, all right.
I took an elevator ride with Cecil Fielder.
Nice. Wow. I saw his son.
I was surprised the elevator cables didn't break and we were good. But yeah.
Teague, I got another challenge for Teague. You never asked me. I told you I had been to Stan's Bar, and you didn't ask me when did I go or anything like that.
When did you go?
The last weekend of the Yankees at Yankee Stadium, that Saturday.
Oh.
Now forgive me, I think it was Bernie Williams hit a single in the bottom of the ninth to win that Saturday game.
I love
it. It was when my uncle and two of my cousins, we all went up there to see that game. And I walked off from them to go back to the hotel room, and they said, okay, I'll meet you outside. And my cousin texts me from outside and he goes, yeah, Goose Gossage was in the elevator. You just missed him. I was like,
oh, that's wild.
Damn it.
My ex-girlfriend used to babysit for Rich Gossage's kids.
Yeah, the Goose. And then he met Dave Winfield.
Look at this. It's like 1 degree of separation with Dave C. All these different ways.
And of course,
you guys might have dated the same chick at one point. I mean, this is kind of
who knows,
random and scary.
But God forbid, who Reggie Jackson
showed
up.
A lot of blacked out road trips where I woke up with lipstick on my collar. Who knows?
Yeah. Oh, dude. Reggie Jackson showed up for that Saturday, and he walked around the stadium and he went to every point he hit all the home runs at. Right? Team?
Oh, that's so cool.
Yeah, and then we went to Stan's after that game, and they won that game in the bottom of the ninth, if I remember correctly. I'm pretty sure I remember that correctly.
I think
the Stan's was absolutely wild. The women were dancing on the bar. They were playing freaking Guns N' Roses and AC/DC. It was that place.
Oh, it was a blast after the 1929 World Series too. I mean, 1996 World Series.
What's your guys' favorite B-side AC/DC?
B-side AC/DC song?
B-side? I wouldn't name, dude. I don't know.
Touch Too Much.
Okay.
Touch Too Much.
Okay.
Too much. A Whole Lot of Roses is not a B-side.
Too much on my body, too much on my brain. This damn woman's gonna drive me insane.
Jailbreak's not a B-side, is it?
That justifies an entire like not so great album of like demo songs that they didn't really want released, and an old record company had rights to.
But they did anyway.
Yeah, no, they didn't really release it. It's Jailbreak 1974 was released by their 1974 record company, like in Australia. They had the rights to their demo. They were like, please don't release that. They didn't support it. They didn't do any songs off it. They didn't provide a video for it, anything.
My favorite B-side from
like
AC/DC would be The Fuhrer.
I love the from Black Ice.
Yes.
That is a great
I love it.
song.
Musically, it's actually really cool.
Black Ice is the best AC/DC album. I'm sick and tired of Back in Black. I love Black Ice.
I can't think of it.
How about Rock and Roll Train, JT?
It's a slower.
I like that one.
Tell me you don't want to like bang the fucking beer mug on the bar and get into a fucking fight when you hear like Rock and Roll Train. It's like I'm gonna beat the fuck out of somebody. It's like a hockey game song. That is most of AC/DC is just hockey game music.
Yeah. Well, it'd be Marvel movies, right?
Or rollerball.
And I live in Hockey Town, so I understand.
What's your favorite?
Did you have a B-side AC/DC? You have a B-side AC/DC track.
Quick honorable mention to the DTs, one of their only two instrumentals. It's on Who Made Who. It's in Maximum Overdrive. The DTs is much better than Chase
since I've listened to that.
Oh, Ride On, JT.
Ride On's a great one.
I love Ride On, dude.
The thing is, that's a single because it's on Dirty Deeds.
Ride on.
I'm just looking for a truck.
I'm just looking for a train.
Thumb in the air. One of these days, I'm gonna change my evil ways. One of these days. Bon Scott was Scottish. By the way, RRTNZ is showing the spirit that made me proud to be a New Yorker. When I started doing YouTube, I'm like, what's my identity? I'm like, everyone hates New York. It's like, fuck it, I'm gonna lean into it. And it was like watching people like RRTNZ talk to the drinker and Mauler talk about being Welsh. I'm like, if they can be proud of some like part of England that's like, you know, I'm only finding out about now, I'm going to definitely be proud about New York. And you guys definitely got me into that.
Silver and Gold's a great song, dude. It's a,
I remembered
it's a blues. It's a more of a bluesy song, if I remember right. With
the best
didn't they play it with
When Love Comes to Town?
When Love, okay, sorry. Silver and Gold's kind of like that. I like Silver and Gold.
I think it's on the same album. They do that half an hour. They do one album side with BB King.
The lyrics for Ride On it's the classic loner. It's the loner Gold Star song, you know. It's another lonely evening and then another lonely town.
Bring up BB King. I've got my valuable wall space. I have a I guess a 2-foot diagonal pencil drawing of BB King playing his guitar. Yeah, black and white.
That was my
bow tie. It's a beautiful pencil drawing. Anyway,
that was my my biological father's favorite guitar player.
Oh hell yeah! I could see why. Like he's my favorite blues musician.
What was really weird was
far and away.
When I told him that BB King didn't play chords, he was like, what are you talking about? And then I had to explain to him what a chord was. And then I was like, he doesn't do that. And he's like, huh? I'm like, some of his songs have another guy like playing backup on chords, but like that's why that's why his U2 song is so goddamn good. I was like, he has a great voice and he's just an amazing soloist. And he has just soloed his way through decade after decade. He's like, I love his guitar Lucille. I'm like,
is he really a soloist or is it a duet with Lucille?
It is a duet with Lucille. Well, I mean,
Rosie.
His guitar style can be called soloist, right? Because he's only playing that guitar.
I know.
Like that
I was being facetious.
No, but you know what? I had to think about that for a minute. And you know who? The only person who could probably do a good BB King, like he's too old now, would be Eric Clapton because he had like the first time I saw Eric Clapton, I was like, wait, this guy's fucking white. He has a black guy's voice. He really does.
Right.
Well, I mean, do you guys remember there's a movie, Something of Fire, with the
The Rings of Fire.
Harry
It's
Potter and the
old
Goblet of
1980s motorcycle city.
Streets of Fire.
Streets of
Streets of
Fire.
It's got Green Goblin in it. It's
Red
Okay.
Letter Media did a thing on
The
it.
Willem
song,
Dafoe's
if
in
I
it.
remember right,
Great movie.
hold me to this, T, guys, especially T. 'Cause
Sure.
You're probably from New York type stuff or Detroit setting, right? Futuristic type shit. And I'm going to pull it up. The band
was
in
an
there, I
early
Can
retro
Dream
future.
About You.
The Busboys.
Yeah, but in the movie, did they not have a group of guys singing that? And it was a like
Here's
was
the
that
deal.
just a
The
white
song
dude
is
that did
written
it?
by Dan Hartman.
Yes.
Dan Hartman wrote the song I Can Dream About You If I Can Hold You Tonight.
Yes.
But in the movie, the plot of the movie was that there was another band called the Busboys who were just sort of caught up in the middle of all this. They weren't like bad or good guys, just like kind of, they would like every time something wacky would happen, the Busboys would be like, man, this night just keeps getting weirder. You know, like they were there to kind of react
they
for
were
us.
background characters.
Yeah.
They were awesome. But like, so the Busboys, they did their own song, which I think is called New Shoes. But then they also inherited a song written for the movie, and it's performed in the movie soundtrack. It's by the Busboys, and in real life, it's by Dan Hartman.
It's by a guy named Dan Hartman.
Yeah. And in the movie soundtrack, it's by the Busboys.
Yeah. So they.
I thought you were going to tell me it was
you.
El Bus Padres or something.
I touched
No,
a boob
that's like
outside
the
of a
whole-
shirt to that song. That's how old that. So that was like
great,
the highlight
very
of my
nice
summer too. Yeah,
Very nice.
You know
the
what?
highlight of the whole summer.
Maybe I can do that for my Thursday nights.
Moving sidewalk takes me right back to your love.
It's a great song, isn't it? But it's like the
pretty
Milli
good. It's a
Vanilli.
good fake
You
Motown
remember
song.
What happened with Milli Vanilli?
It is a good fake Motown song, and I would know a thing or two about Motown. And it's
You live
really
there.
a shame that LA killed fucking Motown.
No,
It's kind of
That's a
shame.
whole show for another time. But Motown Museum, cool, not comprehensive, but cool. In a bad neighborhood, sure.
It's
but-
Detroit.
Well, yeah. So today, you guys will love this. Okay, so the highway was completely closed down.
Lance loves Streets of Fire. How did I know that?
Both
How did I
directions.
know that?
The 5-lane each way highway was closed down both directions for bridge demolition, which happened to be the bridge that the Jews crossed to go to services on Saturday. So hell, I don't know what they're going to do, but call an Uber. I don't know. Anyway,
River's still
so-
frozen, right?
oh yeah, no. We're full in spring.
I'm
but
gonna pull
so
up
my-
something here.
my alternate way to work was to drive 8 Mile, and y'all know about 8 Mile. Yes, I actually did have to go on the part of 8 Mile that one lyricist, rhythmic gentleman is from, and was not a lot of fun. Was not a lot of fun.
Getting through
In-
8 Mile
in
is
the
you have
pattern.
to lose yourself to the music.
But the pattern is strip club, chicken joint, used tires, used cars, strip joint, lead joint, cars.
I miss when Queens was like that, man. I'm moving to Detroit.
Dude, it's
I am so moving to Detroit.
but the
It sounds like
thing
my
is-
kind of town. We have
well,
a terrible
but it's even
football
better,
team,
Deke.
just like
It's
we
even
do.
better because you can strap in Detroit.
I
You
would
can't
so
strap
strap.
in New York.
Most people
You
are
can-
I
anyway,
you
could
can
have my
strap in
gold-plated desert eagle.
Whether you can or you can't, they do anyway.
Well, yeah.
JT, are you saying that I could
Easier.
have my dream of walking around with my gold-plated desert eagle?
Well, guys,
Open carry for sure.
gonna-
You
I'm gonna
need to
show
take
you
a
something.
class for concealed.
Uh-oh,
but yes.
Dave-
I'm
Dave's
sticking
got
with the
something to show
music.
us.
I'm sticking with the music. And I'm
Well,
gonna
I
show
was
this.
too. I was talking about the stomping grounds of
Oh.
one Marshall Mathers, Esquire.
Yes.
If that's music, I don't know. Some people think it is.
Remember them? Who remembers those guys?
Is this a
The
homosexual couple?
Nope.
One is still alive. They're
is still
very
alive.
heterosexual. If
Which
they
one
had been
has
Very,
AIDS?
homosexual-
very heterosexual, but
if
the
they had
biggest
been
music
One on the left
homosexual-
has AIDS, right?
If they had been
Well, hold on,
homosexuals,
let me
they
explain
would have.
what's going on.
One of them self-deleted. And
Self-deleted,
the other one I
but
think is okay, but
But
the
the
reason
reason
why they got exposed was they were so heterosexual that they like tried to like tear the clothes off the lead singer of this band, D-Mob. She became a model, Kathy Dennis. She was really freaking hot. And she was like so sick of them like being assholes to her that she like told the media about it. She's like, they don't even fucking say.
JT doesn't know what happened.
The one on the left looks like they're trying to transition. The one on the right looks like Michelle
glam.
Obama.
They were glam, and it was okay.
The one on the right looks like Michelle
pop.
Obama. Changed my mind. The one on the right's Michelle.
But JT, the reason why I showed this is because they had all these great songs like "Blame It on the Rain" and "Don't Forget My Number" and all this kind of shit back in the day. And it turns out, guess what?
Songwriters.
They didn't sing any of it. That's Milli Vanilli, and I'll never forget these guys.
No way.
I've
heard of them.
They didn't sing any of their songs, dude. None of it.
Since we're playing musical show and tell, here you go. This is my prize possession.
Very nice.
You want to embiggen me there for a moment?
Go back to the rugby there.
You going to embiggen him?
I'm trying to get him to watch rugby. I tried to get that.
Dave, are you going to embiggen the Admiral?
I am, and I'm trying to get out of the chat here. Where'd we go? Blame It on the Rain.
And Phantom Outsider says they won a Grammy and they didn't sing.
They won a Grammy.
Yeah,
thank you, Phantom. They won
the song won a Grammy
and never sang a damn song.
I think
that's what I was trying to get.
Did we ever find out who did
Thank
the
you,
singing?
Phantom. Thank you, buddy. Everybody, TNC. Yeah, I've been trying to get
Denzel Washington sang the actual music. There we go. Can you embiggen me a little?
I'm trying to get you.
It's hard to get Teague off, you know.
That's why I had so many successful relationships that lasted for so many years, JT.
Yeah.
How do I get you to...
That's the key. That's the key to being an asshole and holding on to your girlfriend. All right, guys. So this is a.
Oh, there we go.
There we go. Right. Beautiful.
So what you have here is your basic my weapon of choice. This is a 1996 redesigned reissue of Keith Richards' favorite guitar, the 72 reissue Fender Telecaster. This is absolutely fantastic guitar featuring a PAF style pickup up by the neck, and then in the lead position we have the good old hot single coil. This is the best rhythm guitar ever. I love this particular guitar, and if you hang on 1 minute, I'll show you what I have to complete my arsenal.
Okay.
Nice.
And Phantom Outsider says he thinks one of Millie or Vanilli married a politician from Chicago. Well, that is like a kiss of death right there, Phantom Outsider, because
that's Obama joke because she looks like Michelle Obama. This is the other guitar you have.
That's like a 90% chance you're going to jail. So, you know,
this is the other guitar everybody needs from the Gibson family.
I was going to say that looks like a Gibson.
Rather than go with a Les Paul, because I love Black Sabbath and AC/DC so much, even though it doesn't really fit my playing style, Keith Richards has one of these too. I got myself an American-made Gibson. Let's see if I can get the label.
Nice. Is that with the band Wood that Obama was too scared to make guitars out of?
Yes. In fact, I paid extra money for the band Wood. As you can see, I have the very subdued original style logo. And like an idiot, I tore out one of the pickups and put in a Tony Iommi pickup, and it just did not do what I had hoped it would do for the sound of the guitar. So I ripped it out and just put in a super hot pickup. And I love this. And I guess the one guitar I missed the most is I had a 1995 Epiphone ES335, and I was going to a gig and somebody jumped in front of the subway and deleted themselves, and I got thrown across the subway and I crushed my hollow body guitar. But this is your standard issue Black Sabbath style Tony Iommi, Angus Young. It's set up somewhat as a hybrid between the two of them to do like punk music, but those are my two weapons of choice. And then I have my my Yamaha acoustic.
Nice.
Okay. I've got a Yamaha acoustic behind me. It's actually my mom's. I'm pretty sure it's a crap guitar.
Good guitars.
I'm pretty sure it's a crap guitar, Teague, but you know what? It sounds pretty good for being, cheap.
of all people, was Lady Gaga, who convinced me to try Yamaha instruments. When she was playing a Yamaha piano, I'm like,
I
I'm
also have
not
a
big
Yamaha
on all of
keyboard
her
at the
music.
house too.
Yeah, I wasn't too big on her music, but I'm like, some of her songs are good, and she's like a fairly competent musician on 3 different instruments.
She's an
She's
actual
definitely,
musician. Listen
yeah,
to
it's
her
like
on that type of thing. Yeah, for
she's
sure.
from Queens or Brooklyn. She's from Brooklyn.
Yeah,
But
Brooklyn.
the thing is, I was like, if she's willing to play a Yamaha, I'm not going to walk away from that. Like if the Rolling Stones are willing to jam with her, she's not too bad.
Nice.
Right.
Nice.
Whose guitar is that?
It's a comic book store down here.
That is a Epiphone.
I think they're Les Pauls, aren't they?
No, that's a Gibson.
The Gibson.
That's an actual Gibson. So they've devalued it, but it's a great comic book store prop.
Oh yeah.
It would be worth more money if it had nothing like it, because it's a Gibson. But I'm assuming it's like the entry level Gibson.
Well, that's still a beautiful.
You would not want to play that guitar, and it's a Gibson. That's the thing.
It's beautiful.
Yeah. Yeah, you get all the stuff with it. I mean, they're a couple $1,000s each.
At the arena where the Islanders play, there is an Islanders guitar, right? And it's an Epiphone. They did not go all the way to like even the Islanders didn't buy an actual Les Paul. They bought the Epiphone version. So it being the Gibson is, way to go. You went all the way with that, but for an unplayable guitar to be one of the best guitars ever, it's a little bit tragic because you can't play it. It's so beautiful.
Right. You wouldn't want to play that. That's just the collector's
the thing
item.
is, the guitar player in me wants to play the
like
Les
if you
Paul.
messed up a Bach Stradivarius trombone or there's makes of various instruments that you just don't F with. Or a con.
I create about one fake Stradivarius a year to maintain my lifestyle. That's the secret to how I stay alive.
No, but a box Strat is a fine trombone. But con has the bass trombone market cornered. We go all day on brass instruments. I'm sure no one cares about. But moral of the story is there's certain instruments you just don't F with, because they're just so good on their own. Don't put decals or change the physical structure anyway. You just don't need to. In fact,
the painting of an actual Les Paul, it's such a wonderfully well-made guitar that you're just like, I love the painting, I love the Les Paul, but too great taste this time. Right? JT knows what I mean.
Yeah.
The guitar player in me wants to grab that thing and start devaluing it.
Well, on that note, we hit 3 hours, guys.
The current president of Argentina is released his country's documents that showed Mustache Man lived there for 20 years after World War II.
No
That's
shit.
because my friend Jesus Makina told me that he has made a device that can give you the powers of a deity, and I think that's probably what he used. A lot of people don't know this, but the Berlin sewers lead directly to Argentina. Is that true? Did they really release something? I mean, I bet you there's something you can release any piece of paper, though.
I heard something about it like a week before.
But let's forget about the fact that Hitler's own doctor said he had 5 years left in 1941, and he kept on doing meth for 5 more years. Okay.
To be honest with you, they would have found him down there. Somebody would have.
Oh, wow. Buddy Hepburn has a Bach Strad trumpet.
That's B flat, if I remember right. Buddy, do you have a C trumpet too that you play with?
Ooh, you can play some horns.
My proudest moment as a musician was arranging horns Rolling Stones style in one of our songs.
No, I'm thinking Earth, Wind, and Fire, Chicago, Commodores, horns. That kind
I
of
saw
stuff.
Earth, Wind, and Fire. That was a pretty good show.
I mean,
but 43 is a bigger barrel than like a 37 Strad, which the 43 is like, if you're trying to get a sound to cut through the orchestra and be nice and bright, that's the one that you do it with. So that is an excellent choice, buddy. Well done.
What, JT? It's a shame you only have maybe one more chance at this, if any, but for years I've been going to see a band you may have heard of called the Rolling Stones, and they do this song.
Yeah.
Yes,
the Stones
you may have heard of it.
Rolled, yes.
Yes. And they have a song, you possibly have heard of it, it's called Angie. And what I always loved was when they would play the song, right? Like it has that long guitar intro that's really beautiful, right? Some guy walked out with the French horn. It's like, and he just like walked off. That's the only reason he was there. The French horn was not part of the horn ensemble for any of the other songs. I don't think they retasked somebody. I think the Rolling Stones had so much money. That's like, you can you play 6 notes? Can you play them perfectly every night? Fine. You're a Rolling Stone. Get in the bus. So all that guy did for the whole tour. It was great. Can you imagine?
The moves like Jagger, I hate that song. But I will say the Rolling Stones.
Adam Levine went to high school, went to college on Long Island. He's a graduate of
Mark D with the
University.
C and I are never going to agree on this. I think the Stones are better than the Beatles.
The Rolling Stones, here's the thing. The Beatles had a better 10-year period in the 60s than the Stones had, but the Stones were better in the 70s. The Stones are better in the 80s. The Stones are better in the 90s. The Stones are better in the 2000s. They're better in the 2010s. They're better in the 2020s. And there are now 600 or 700 original Jagger Richards songs. And they have 300 songs that stand toe-to-toe with every single Beatles song. And the only thing you can say for the Beatles is sentiment. And if you really want to be a dick, you could find, what's that song? Is it I Want to Be Your Lover? And say that's the only good Beatles song. Because the Stones wrote that one. No, the Beatles wrote a Stones song. The Beatles wrote a Stones song, and the Stones wrote a Beatles song, and they switched songs. The Stones song is "I Want to Be Your Lover."
That does "You Spin Me Right, Dead or Alive."
Oh, that guy was early. That guy was a trans.
Called that. He's long gone too.
Baby, well, he got depressed when his facial surgery started to collapse on him, and then whatever. I think he got his type 1 phaser out and did whatever.
Check out this guy here.
I want to be
this guy?
your man.
Everybody, who's this guy?
It was a good song when you were like whacked out at the club.
Yeah.
That's great. People wearing their 80s mullet wigs. Or is that guy?
No,
is that
look
guy's
who it
hair?
is though. He's got the T-shirt. You can barely see. You can if you
the
know
Almost
it,
Queen guy.
No, it's Jack Burton. You can't see the boots. He had the boots. I forgot to take a picture of the boots. That's Jack Burton.
Okay.
Big Trouble. You see the T-shirt?
Yeah, I can't. I can kind of.
I can't make it out well.
Yeah, that's.
I stick to my interpretation of Big Trouble in Little China that. At the end of the movie, the thing crawling up the side of the Pork Chop Express is not out to get him. It's actually a Wookiee, and it's going to join him, and he's going to take the Pork Chop Express, and he's going to go to Mos Eisley with it.
Right.
Yeah.
I believe that that's the Han Solo and Chewie meetup story that we deserved.
Buddy, I sincerely value your opinions. I on this one instance, I think you're wrong. He says, I'll take the Beatles from Rubber Soul to Let It Be over all of the Stones albums together. Now, I respect your opinion, and I respect your right to say it. I don't agree, but that's okay because it's music, and we're also not making a Chicano viewpoint on this, so we're okay. And Teague knows what I'm talking about.
Yeah, no, I got a quick Beatles story for you. My dad was a new cop when the Beatles came to New York. It was not something anyone coveted doing because of the kind of stuff that they were associated with. So my father had to be Paul McCartney's bodyguard. So they assigned like 4 New York City cops to hang out with the Beatles to make sure that no one kills them, you know what I mean? On top of all the hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of other cops that they have, keeping back a wall of young girls. And my dad said that Paul McCartney was super cool. He was a gentleman. And I was like, what was the concert like? He's like, they sucked. I was like, okay.
I mean, that's probably not wrong. The studio and live concert are 2 very different things.
Yeah.
He said he couldn't hear anything but the people screaming, and he was like, didn't really pay much. I was like, are you one of the cops on the stage? Like, hell no. That was when I took my break. I think I was asleep when they played. They're horrible. And I was like, wow. And I was like, so what like, that must have been an amazing night in your life. He's like, it sucked. It's like, why? It's like, when they got into the car, Paul McCartney shook my hand, and 5,000 girls under the age of 16 started chasing me, and they grabbed at my badge and my hat and my gun. So I had to run, and I crashed into a fucking inspector who started screaming at me that he was going to write me up. And like, and I thought I was going to lose my job like 3 months after I became a cop. And I was like, damn, fuck. And he was just like, I think he ultimately got out of it because they were like, you know, he was like, there's no way
shit, you know.
Well, no, what the guy said was like, how dare a New York City police officer run away from little girls? He's like, there's thousands of them. Was I supposed to start shooting? And he's like, just get out of here, asshole.
Shooting with what is kind of the question.
Well, no, it was like, if he didn't run away from him, he would have lost his badge, lost his hat, you know what I mean?
Of course.
He had to run away from like these little girls rather than employ lethal force to keep these, you know, like it was his job. Like, I mean, today someone just would have probably turned around and just like emptied that Glock on him, but he's like, had the decency to run away.
Fair enough.
I mean, hey, you know what? If it was a P Diddy show, maybe he'd be right to tell it.
Well, you know,
I saw some news stories today. Wow.
Yeah, we're not going there.
No, but I'll be going there tomorrow, and on Friday during Streaming for Vengeance, we'll be doing a whole P Diddy salacious stream with pictures of how hot his ex-girlfriend was and everything.
You guys want to see something real quick here?
Sure.
I'm thinking maybe I can get it to work real quick before we head out, right? Let me see if I can get this to go.
All right.
Let me
this is can you and Biggin? All right, so this is the James T.
Glitter
Funko, and you may not be able to see it, but I sure can. You can see all the way through the bottom of his feet with the beam.
He's starting to beam.
He is starting to beam, and he is actually clear through the ankles up to the knees.
Or he's materializing.
Yes.
I guess it could be either one. That is cool as hell.
So there's also William T. Riker.
Notice how his important parts. He's like, I don't want the character to be presented without its crotch fully intact.
Right. And then last but not least,
not his tackle.
Last but not least, we have the complainer soft boy in chief. And you have
robot upload boy.
Patty Stu crying about his mom offing himself.
My wife is only 35 years old, so I've had to adopt some new outlooks on things.
But maybe you can see that a little bit more clearly.
Gene Roddenberry was such a
him that he's starting to materialize.
Yes.
Okay.
I can see that much.
It's hard. I know there's a reflection off of my computer screen there, but I ordered those 6 months ago from Paramount, and they're probably single-handedly paying the Donald Trump lawsuit with these, but I did get all three.
By the way, RRTN said that's an easy question. Hands down, the Rolling Stones. Hands down, the Rolling Stones. Jimmy Page is a distasteful heroin addict who has 5 good songs.
And Phantom Outsider said he's dematerializing.
Ah, thank you. Thank you. I'm glad that Patrick Stewart won't be around here much longer. You just beam away, my friend.
All right.
Here
we go.
Boy, his attitude at the end of at that Picard show, when he talked about how Gene Roddenberry was a monster for making that fish have to live on the set of a TV show, I was like, what? Fuck you. I hate you now.
Where did it go? God dang it.
Or as our president would say, sir, nobody cares. It's okay.
It's only 8 seconds, so I'm going to show this. You want to see somebody having fun at a bar down here?
Cover anyway. You'll be okay.
Yeah, and 80. I'm not worried about it. It's 8 seconds. And
it's okay. It's their interpretation.
Heavy metals. She's having fun by herself.
It's your own video. Right? You own this.
What's Admiral Hodo doing?
Oh, look at her.
Row?
She's whipping that hair around.
Yeah, what is Admiral Hodo doing in the front row?
You know, when Admiral Holdo showed up in that movie, I was like, oh, thank God, Laura Dern, maybe she'll impose some sense on this shit show. Little did I know.
No, she was going to escalate the nonsense.
I was like, she's been in so many good movies, all the way back to her first movie, White Lightning with Burt Reynolds. I'm going to enjoy this movie, but no
chance.
You know what? This is the one thing I've noticed. People use David Lynch actors, and they're like, now we can use David Lynch's rules. People won't hold us to reality if we have, like, you know, they tried it in Fallout. I don't know what season 2 of Fallout's going to be like. That ending was pretty fucking weird.
Nice. Well, guys, what do we have coming up for the rest of the week?
What's
Go ahead.
Today's Wednesday.
That means
yes.
It's Thursday morning.
Tomorrow night, I'll be having the only show that's my show. That's my talk show. It's called Teague's Intense Talk Show. It's on Thursday nights at about 10 o'clock. I'm going to decide whether it's 9:30 or 10 tomorrow.
It bots me fucking where.
It's co-host Krimlon. No, I think that Comic Relief Crusader and his wife are praying at that time. So I think that I can probably get, you know, yeah, they have a golden calf they roll out. But what do you call it? So Thursday I'll be doing that, and then Friday, you know, not to belabor the point, but at 3 p.m. you can transform and optimize the prime view of your afternoon. It's the new show everyone's talking about. It's called Streaming for Vengeance. It is just about 5 minutes shorter than a show called I think it's called Fabtastic Fridays by a man who has obviously woken up early, shaved, and cleaned up the house so his wife can come home to a clean place after her long day of work, while he looks for work in his preferred job as, I guess, a house painter. The Hilda Relief Crusader.
You broke me, Teague. You broke me. I'm fanning myself for
piling on one insult after another.
What time tomorrow?
Tomorrow night is at 10 p.m. and then Friday will be five minutes after Comic Relief Crusader goes by, 5 minutes after his ends.
Oh shit!
When he preached his warp core on Tuesday, it was fucking hilarious.
Yeah, but you got Saturday Star Trek.
And Saturday night, 9:45 p.m. A very easy time to remember. Believe me, it's not hard at all. Because if we go on
crazy.
Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness.
Idea, because Quabi invented 10 o'clock. We only had 9 and 11 until Quabi.
Right.
But you know what? Coming up soon, we're gonna have a nice tribute to the people who held the torch before us. Coming up in June
For one whole year.
Yeah, we were celebrating one whole year the right way, but which is next month, guys. I want you all to join us for a very special Saving Star Trek Pride Month. It starts with Patterns of Force. I'm sorry, no. It starts with Horizon, starring Mr. Gayweather, our favorite character. We have noticed that
character episode. Nonetheless,
yeah, it's the character episode to build the worst actor in all of Star Trek history. I think it's like he is now bailing out Marina Sirtis's first 2 seasons. He is really just plumbing the depths. The episode where Marina Sirtis wakes up like pregnant and then gives birth to a child that like turns into a beam of light for no fucking reason. That is now her acting in that is now pretty good compared to Mr. Gayweather. He does nothing to sell the fact that he's a human being.
Guys, ladies and gentlemen, it is going to be fun on Saturday. Unless we give away too much on a preview, it is going to be.
We are going to have the wildest June too. June, listen, we are moving on to the original series at the end of the year, so this June is going to be wild. We're going to have don't tell anybody. It's kind of we're going to sort of troll Pride Month, because if anything is ready for satire, it's Pride Month. Okay. My father was at the Stonewall riot dressed as a cop. It's not as gay as it sounds. He was working for the city of New York, suppressing a riot. Now, he may have been one of the original oppressors. I hope that, he hit them only with an open hand. But if they fuck with him, he probably had to hit them with his nightstick. But, man had a job to do. Kids got to eat, right? But that's, a story for next month when we're going to have Horizon. And then on June 21st, we will be showing the episode Patterns of Force on an event we're calling Springtime for Star Trek. Join us.
Nice. JT.
The longest
yeah.
ever.
So not only am I stoked for all of that, Jesse Owens is the inspiration behind that Pictionary illustration. Ladies and gentlemen.
And someone got it too.
I will. So I will be working tomorrow night, so I will not be on anyone's stream. But Friday, I will peek my head out on Mark D with the C's Friday Night Fortnite, which tends to start anywhere between 10:30 to midnight and go until the wee hours of the morning.
When does
and then Saturday, I will be manning the con at Saving Star Trek. So
yes,
hope to see you all at both of those. And then next week, I hope my effing internet actually that I pay for with real money actually works, and we'll be back for the Joker next week.
We'll be doing Joker 1975.
I'm looking forward to that.
Yeah, I was too, T. I tell you what, I was looking forward to it too.
Well, you know what, JT? I think in part one of the Joker, it's the part where they give him the high and tight, and he meets the Kingpin in basic training for Vietnam. Yeah,
interesting.
Yeah, Joker, and they call the Kingpin Private Pile for some reason in the Joker origin tale I'm thinking of.
762 Full Metal Jacket.
Yes, that's the one. You've heard of it. Yes, great movie. Matthew Modine is my favorite Joker. And I love how him and the Kingpin cross paths in boot camp. As a Marine, you must be proud that both the Joker and the Kingpin were Marines.
Dave.
Yes, they were.
You're like, unfortunately, they were.
Anyway,
Dave's trying to thread the needle of that joke. He's like, what the fuck are these idiots talking about?
Yeah, you'd be surprised who were Marines and who weren't.
well, that's why the best folks join the Army. We're going to start that, Dave.
Or become sicarios for the Medellin cartel, which also has a very good retirement plan, and was an exciting way to see the world.
If you want to trade up for the Marines, just join the Army. That's how it works, right, Dave?
We have a better retirement plan.
Right, Dave?
Yeah, do cocaine and hang out with bitches in the Marine Corps.
Nice. No.
I had ship duty too. There were 400,000 kilos of cocaine on that ship, and I got it all the way to Miami. What?
On that note, tomorrow night,
things for our country.
I'm doing Kung Fu Theater.
Awesome.
El Pinochet.
El Pinochet. 5 Shaolins. Buddy still there in Phantom?
Yeah, he's still there.
We're gonna do
decency is compelled the entire chat to leave 5 minutes
zoom in
ago.
if you can a little bit there, Dave.
I gotta pull it up here.
You push the control button, you push the Windows button. Oh, there you go.
There you that works enough.
Yeah. So tomorrow night, 9 p.m. Eastern. Just doing some Kung Fu Theater. This is one of my favorite old school ones. One of my favorite newer ones is 13 Assassins. Came out a couple years ago. It has a 45-minute ending fight scene, continuously shot. Right? It's unbelievable. If you like martial arts, it's called. I think somebody said it's also called 5 Masters of Death, but this is the version I have. 5 Shaolin Masters. You'll see some people in there, from Big Trouble, or at least one.
Very nice.
Anyway. And
very nice.
And we thank them for the inspiration they gave the Wu-Tang Clan.
Wu-Tang. And on that note, I think that's it. I'm done. 3 hours. 3 hours.
That bombshell.
3 hours and 28.
It's been a pleasure to see you all here. Welcome to our Irish Republican Army fundraising.
I got to go change the title of the video now.
We promise to call before we activate the devices.
It's time to ride on. Ride on. Good night, everybody. Oh, shout outs. Buddy, Phantom, RRTNZ, Gap. And thank you, T, for jumping on in.
Oh, it's fun.
And hanging in. And JT for stopping in.
Yeah. Glad my internet came back.
Yeah. I was, with my luck, I was saying, watch that fucking thing stop. here on me tonight.
Yeah.
Was there a snowmobile riding communist seen fleeing the site of the cut cable, dressed in cosplaying as Optimus Prime?
That would only be too easy of an answer.
That would be too
also
easy.
Thank you for dropping in DJ Play Nice.
Oh,
Appreciate it, dude.
DJ Play Nice. Thank you so much. I always forget somebody. So if I forgot you, I'm sorry. Thank you.
You didn't thank the Doc, man.
See you.
That Doc is at every stream. Gap After Dark was here too.